This will be on the recording. But now we're live, so I don't know why I said it.
Oh, I didn't do my, yeah, okay. Never mind.
Your what?
I forgot to pop it out. It just started for me on the...
Oh, your chat?
Yeah, and then I was like, well, that's not normal. That doesn't happen.
I can't see chat. I don't know if anyone's here right now.
Yeah, there are a few people.
What is the noise? Oh, wow. That is a fat cat, huh? That sounded like a person coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
That is a fat cat. Good job, Evie. Okay, I can't see chat. 1 second. I'm setting up my...
Hi, everybody. People are saying hi.
Hello.
And New Draco's here. New Draco always shows extreme lily love. Don't think I don't notice.
The lily love.
Lots of... He says, hey, queen. Lots of lily love.
Can they hear you?
I don't know. We're going to find out. I got lilies. I think they must be able to hear me.
That's good.
That's what you want.
We can't hear her? No? Someone says no. Maybe they're fibbing. She's a bit quiet? Okay. Well, we're being a little quiet anyway. Because, in case you're not on Discord, Finn took forever to fall asleep, so that's why we're starting really, really late. We've been ready for, what, 3 hours?
Yeah.
And he just... It's not like as soon as he goes to sleep, like, hey, we're good to go, you know? Like, we also have to, wait for him to be asleep for a little while longer. You might want to move the chair closer, or I can move you, actually. Hold on.
I can't possibly miss another exciting talk about depression and Star Wars from you two. I love them.
Well, those two go together.
Thank you. Oh, what treatment? He's moving me, chair and all here.
Okay, is that close enough, or can we get closer still?
I don't know. I'm going to be sitting on your lap pretty much here.
I'm okay with
if we
that.
get any closer.
I'm okay with that. We might have to go to a different streaming site if we do that, though. Although the way Twitch is going lately, maybe not. Just chatting, sure. Anyway, yeah. So sorry that we're starting late, but yeah, the kid is the dictator at the moment. We could have went and streamed in the basement with the baby monitor looking at the door, but there's stuff going on in the basement right now. Your keyboard is terrible. So yeah, I'm on Lily's computer and on the main floor of the house, and her keyboard has been...
Yeah, Finn spilled lemonade all over it the other day, and I cleaned it up as best as I could, but some of the keys are sticking a little bit, so...
Uh-oh.
That's Leo.
Yeah.
The Shadow of Hope just subscribed with Twitch Prime. Thank you very much.
Thank you, the Shadow of Hope. Sorry, I'm trying to unstick the W key. Okay, I think we'll be okay. Maybe, I don't know. A is sticking though too. This is a very bad keyboard. Maybe I'm gonna have to go get the gamepad. If I just plug it in, will it work? Let's find out.
And Madbake just subscribed for 12 months in a row. I've been here for a year and didn't receive a cup of mortifying mocha. What a great cafe. Joke aside, your streams are amazing. Always good to watch you. Wow. Well, what can we say?
It's Maddie Bakes. What can we say?
I know, but not even one cup of mortifying mochas.
Well, that's why it's the Cringe Cafe, because you cringe at the bad service. That's why. Okay, there we go. The key. It's working. It's working. Okay, there we go. Much better. Thank you, Mebik. Yeah, a whole year. It's yeah. It doesn't feel like it.
Why don't you have a new special drink?
Okay.
Instead of a mortifying mocha.
I'm all ears.
You could have a languishing latte.
A languishing latte. I don't know. Are we ready to make that kind of?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Can we branch out like that? I don't know.
Why not?
I don't know.
We're not going to be out of business soon anyway from the shit service. So throw some of that on the menu.
Well, maybe people know what they're coming for.
Cringe cappuccino.
So I can't remember where anything is. Yeah, I can't remember where anything is. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much again, Medbake. I'm probably gonna talk to you about making another emote soon. I'm gonna finalize some ideas, and then we're gonna pull the trigger, pull the devil trigger, get some more emotes. Feed the beast. If you're available.
Finn thought Ralph Clubs used 10 bits and says Finn thought lemonade would add zest to your keyboard, but it was only a fantasy.
Are they getting worse or better? I can't tell. What do you think?
This one was pretty good.
This one was pretty good? Wow.
Did you guys see the post in Dragon's Den about someone reading one of Lily's books and laughing at the chapter title?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I told Lily about it too. Yeah, I did. I laughed at it. I thought it was good.
And it took me a minute to remember what he was talking about because it's been so long since that book was in parts that I forgot that the first part was actually called that. So, and I don't remember what the other ones were called.
A deadly affair, a deadly book, a deadly Lily.
That was when I had them separated into 5 parts.
The biggest, most awful.
I did tell Joe the riddle, and he said it was stupid.
Yeah, it was a dumb riddle. Yeah, it's not a riddle. That's just a. Can you guess something that fits this?
And I told it properly this time. I didn't start laughing in the middle of it and mess it up like I usually do either. I was so good about it.
That's not a riddle.
He might have been right, but you know.
Here's a riddle.
Not the point. The point is still that I won. I told him something he didn't guess.
What did I have for breakfast this morning? All right, can you solve it? Damn, what a fucking great riddle.
Well, here's the riddle. You weren't awake this morning and you didn't have breakfast.
What do I tell him the answer for?
Because I win. It was a trick riddle.
Oh, we've done everything in here. Shit. So if this is the first time that you've caught one of the Q&As live or any of the Q&As at all, usually we just kind of meander for the first little while people join chat, and then we start reading questions out that people posted on Patreon. Can I turn the rumble off? Because it's bugging me. Can I turn the rumble off? Use controller style menus. Hardware cursor controller rumble. There we go.
What do you enjoy doing when you occasionally have free time?
Oh man, probably watching TV or some movies. I actually watched a movie the other night. I was trying to get to sleep, and I thought I'd watch a movie, and I thought I would watch something kind of relaxing, kind of soothe me to sleep a little bit. You know, something that would just settle me. So I watched The Raid. And it was pretty good. I liked it quite a lot, and I enjoyed having to, being able to watch a movie. I hadn't seen it before, and I'm looking forward to watching the sequel sometime next year when I have another chance. Yeah, it was good. I highly recommend it if you like those kind of movies. Free time. I have, all jokes aside, I have been trying to take it a little easier. After, like, during the Danganronpa streams, it was I tried to have like an hour or two just chilling with the kids afterwards. It didn't always work out that way, but I tried to. But yeah, it's just so easy to get roped into just like this loop of this activity, that activity, this, you know what I mean? But yeah. But yeah, movies, TV shows, reading, just the usual kind of hobbies, right? Nothing really that exciting.
No. But you don't have that much time anyway.
No,
right? So
it's okay.
Maybe
though.
if you had more time, you would have more variety. But
No dates with waifu. When was the last time we went on a date?
It was July of 2015.
Was it raining?
I was very pregnant, and I had to keep getting up from the movie to pee. What movie did we see? I don't remember. Was that when we saw The One You Love?
Fury Road?
Yeah. Was that one, or was there one we saw after that? We did see a movie that one time, a Star Wars movie, but I don't really consider that a date.
Wasn't it Avengers? It was Avengers. It wasn't Fury Road.
Was it Avengers?
I think it was Avengers. I think we went and saw Age of Ultron. I think that's what we went and saw.
We went.
Because I remember you were pregnant with Finn.
It was our last ditch attempt of having a date before the baby came.
Yeah, you were pregnant with Finn when we were watching all the Marvel movies leading up to going to see Age of Ultron, because I remember he liked the explosions during the Iron Man.
Yeah, he used to go crazy, and he loved the Iron Man
used to kick.
song. He would like roll; his whole body would just roll over.
Yeah, but we don't go on dates anymore, not because of work. We don't go on dates because of the kids.
Yeah, we don't have anyone to look after them, and we don't just trust a babysitter that we just we don't know. So
Didn't you just read some story about some daycare that's someone they hired stabbed all the kids or something?
Yeah, it was in New York, I think.
Yeah.
There was a story in the news.
That's pretty bad.
So yeah, we're a little nervous to leave our kids with anyone.
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
So no more movies.
Ever. No. What?
We did have a date the other night, though. We watched.
Oh yeah, we watched another movie.
Yeah,
I forgot about
that we watched together.
We watched together. We watched The Nice Guys, and it was pretty good. I liked it. I thought it was very funny. I thought it kind of just went nowhere at the end, though. But maybe that's the point. I don't know. Maybe it's something about that genre that I don't understand. But yeah, I thought it was pretty good. It was entertaining. I still like Russell Crowe. Are we allowed to like Russell Crowe?
Why not?
I don't know. I heard some bad things about Russell Crowe years and years ago. He was a dick on the Master and Commander set. He made everyone call him Captain or something. I can't remember. But maybe that's really tame compared to what celebrities are doing now.
Just remember hearing he was quite volatile, but that was years ago, so who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
That's in Toronto University, thinking about moving, and it's one of my options, so I thought I'd ask someone who may know. We went to York. York was okay, but it's very
What are they
far.
asking of University of Toronto or universities in Toronto?
Well, he just said on Toronto University, so I don't know if you mean U of T. We didn't go to U of T. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. We went to York, but I've heard good things about U of T, and there's multiple campuses, so.
Yeah, we're probably not the right people to ask, but my guess is that if you go online, there'll be a lot of online resources that are fairly reputable for determining that. Sorry to pass the buck, but yeah, we're not the right people to ask. Just like if you're asking, any what's the bar scene like in Toronto, I couldn't tell you either.
Mm-hmm.
Like
It's been 2 years.
But strip clubs maybe, but not the bars. Chicken wings. There's not a single place in Moncton that sells a good chicken wing. It's like they're all so pathetic, aren't they? They're like they must all come from the same shitty distributor.
They're
like
so tiny.
they're so
and
bad.
They have so little flavor to them.
And
there's no sauce.
They all look gray, right? Like they're just terrible. Really bad chicken wings. And chicken wings are a new thing for me. I never liked chicken wings until fairly recently. And I'm like, oh, I like chicken wings. Who knew? And then they got taken away.
Thank you to the Lucid Streamer, who just subscribed with Twitch Prime for 9 months in a row. 9 months of shit memes, chill streams, and owie ice creams. I'm still waiting on the official Joseph Anderson Minecraft killing game, though. You'd make a great Monokuma.
Yeah, I'll set that up. I'll look into it, and I'll set up the server, and I'll just have it running. As long as someone guides me through it, because I've never played Minecraft for more than like an hour. It's not something I ever really got into. Not because I didn't want to or anything, just didn't have the time. Didn't have didn't look like something that interests me that much, so I couldn't justify getting it. But yeah. That text size? What's wrong with the text size? Is it too small or too big or what? Do you guys want me to turn the text size up? This is just here as the background anyway. How do I turn the text size up? It's huge? What do you mean? How do I turn it down?
What do I think of Monokuma? Very creepy. I have this thing where like I love
you're talking about the overlay?
Dressed in clothes. I think it's really cute, like real animals, but when they're like talking stuffed animals, that's just not right. And I have so many of them that I've passed down to the kids, and it's like now we're surrounded by bears. It's not good. Not in a good way.
Yeah. I can't see it. It's not here. That's weird. I could turn it off. Whoops. Okay, there we go. It doesn't look that much bigger than usual to me. It's in the right place. Is it really that big?
He might not be a stuffed animal, but if you lived here, you know what I mean. There are stuffed animals everywhere.
Are you guys talking about the name of the person, or are you talking about the message? It's not different than last time. That's weird. Okay, next time a sub comes in, I will check it and I will see if it's any different. Sorry. I can change the text size fairly easily. The message is actually gargantuan. Really? That's weird. Do I know that RT Game is a fan of yours? I think he left a comment on one of my videos. I had never heard of him, and apparently most people never heard of him either until recently because his channel just went through a massive burst of popularity. So good for him. Someone linked the Q&A that he did, and he mentioned the Danganronpa streams, I think, and I listened to part of the beginning, and it was something along the lines of he just got a recent surge of subs and he can do whatever he wants now. He's not tied to playing Team Fortress 2, I think is what he used to play, so good for him. It's always good to break out of something and you have more freedom, so good for him. Yeah, but I didn't check out the rest of his channel, so I don't know what he does apart from Let's Plays. Does he do other stuff too? Seemed like a cool guy. He watches me, so he must be cool, right?
Hey Lily, just want to say that your help in the mental health section of Discord is amazing, and I thoroughly appreciate it, even if I don't use it often.
Aw.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think it's good too. I'm proud of you, Lily.
Thank you. Getting so many comments now, so many private messages. It's really it's been really well received.
Maybe
people are using it.
Maybe you should have your own mental health YouTube channel. What do you think of that?
Maybe. Come and talk to me.
Would you call it Lily Talks or Lily Listens?
Probably Lily Talks. Because I would be talking, right?
Lily Tweets? Lily Streams?
I have a pattern. Come watch Lily Streams, the Q&As, and then come listen to Lily Talks. Bring your mental health problems.
The whole Lily brand. I think I know your Pornhub channel will be called too. Lily.
You could go a few different ways with that.
Lily Screams.
That's not inappropriate at all. While we're pouring out some Lily love, your tweets always make going on Twitter enjoyable. Thank you very much. That's great. They're mostly about Finn. Today I did a Leo one, just to mix it up. But
you had a Leo tweet? I didn't see the Leo tweet. What was
Leo
the Leo
was giving
tweet?
me big Finn attitude today. He started coughing like he's hacking on his lunch, and I said, "Are you okay?" And he goes, No! Like, so drawn out and so, like... Yes, I didn't mean it to all be about them, but people seem to really like them, so... Whenever I talk about something that's not Finn related, people don't really care as much, so I just tell them my Finn stories now, and they seem to be well liked, so whatever. Finn does a lot of weird things and cute things throughout the day, so I always have an abundance of Finn stories. And now Leo's becoming his own person, so...
I made Finn say Leon. I got him to say it. Just like, Leo, 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 say Leon, Leon. I got him to do it. I got him to do it.
We got hit by a car on the way here. Dude just kept driving after I rolled off the hood.
It's not good.
Hope you're okay.
Damn. That's a fan right there, huh? He really wanted
Respect.
to come. Yeah, respect. He really wanted to be here. Okay, go ahead and read the first thing that was on Patreon because it wasn't a question. It was just someone wanted to tell me about some games that I might like to stream. It has a lot of gameplay technical stuff on it, so good luck reading that out.
Let's do just Ralph Close just did a 10-bit thing, so before then I have to read it after, right? So I was wondering if you'll ever let Finn or Leo watch these streams when they're older. I guess I know now.
Yeah, they can if they want to. I can't stop them, but probably not anytime soon, and they're probably going to be banned from the stream soon. Especially as Finn gets older, you know, don't want to accidentally, you know, dox ourselves. You know, it's important to teach kids, you know, address and phone number in case they get lost.
Yeah.
And he might be sitting here on stream one day and just recites it. Finn, no.
Now we have to move again. Anyway, let's read.
Canada's Wonderland.
Yeah. I couldn't say my address and stuff, or my name as a kid, so I used to say weird things, and yeah, I would always end my address with Canada's Wonderland. And they would tell me my address, and they would say, you know, say it like this, and I couldn't say it, and to say it again, I couldn't say it, and they have me on tape really, really frustrated, going, I can't say it! I'm like 3 years old. I was so upset.
Okay, read the thing out.
Gabisfer. Or Gabisfer.
I'm not sure what it is, yeah.
Says, hi Joe, instead of boring you with questions, I'm going to talk about some games and game series. It would be cool to watch you play, but I'll limit myself to 3 this time. So the first one is, but first let me talk to you about the storyteller called Zeno. Or Zeno. Zeno? Probably Zeno, right?
I think it's Zeno, yeah.
As a child, Zeno was quite a prodigy. However, he did have some trouble with finishing a story. As a teenager, he attempted to create a massive 6-novel story, but quickly lost his way, having no idea where his story was headed before even reaching the second. Once an adult, he created what many consider his best story with a good balance of all the necessary... Yeah. Later on, he decided to create a novel with a weaker story, but more focused in action, and you can certainly say he succeeded with that. Later in life, as an old man, Zeno tried to craft a tale of hope, but sadly before finishing he was found dead, his head crushed by thick anime thighs. And thick with 2 C's, of course. Basically what I'm saying...
Is there a different spelling that I don't know about?
I'm just saying, I want to specify that it is the proper spelling.
Oh, okay.
It's the proper anime. Basically what I'm saying is that Xenogears, good. Xenosaga 1, good. Xenosaga 2 and 3, absolute trash. Xenoblade 1, good. Xenoblade 10 or X, not sure.
X, it's X.
Weak story, but best gameplay, and Xenoblade 2 was killed by the anime.
Mm-hmm. Cautionary tale, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely a cautionary tale. For sure. Yeah.
Shall I keep going?
Anime, not even once. Yep, keep going. That was pretty good. Thank you for that.
The Trails series. It consists as of now 3 arcs. the Liberal, Crossbell, and Erebonia arcs. The first Liberal is the Trilogy of Trails and the Sky Games, fantastic JRPGs with great story and not very anime. A very cool thing of the series is that the whole world feels real, with every NPC having their own story going on, and the combat, while turn-based, is still deep enough to not be a boring mess. As for the Crossbell arc, there are 2 games yet to be localized, but they may finally be once you get to play them in 5 years or so. And last, there is Erebonia, which is quite frankly still a lot good, but a lot more weeb, even having a katana-wielding main character. And as a good thing, all of the PC ports of these games have a built-in turbo button, which you can customize to be from 2 times to 6 times as fast.
Okay. I've heard some good things about that series. Yeah, I wouldn't mind trying. I'll try almost anything out once to see.
Last and least, YS8 and the rest of the YS series.
Okay, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it is or yis or is it YS? How do you pronounce this series? The yis? I don't know how to pronounce it. Easy?
Ease.
Ease?
Okay,
It's
Ease, not YS.
Okay,
Ease.
Ease.
Ease 8 and the Ease series. Not a lot of people are aware of the storytelling masterpieces of the Ease series, and the most likely reason being that the stories are actually mostly garbage. Ease 1, 2, and Origin are okay. Felgana is meh. Calcetta, Nephistum, and 7 are bad. I'm very sorry for the pronunciation. But then enters Ease 8, Trumpets Play. The story that is perhaps the worst, most cliche-filled thing I've ever seen. And I did almost every Blade quest in Xenoblade 2.
Damn.
Ease 8 has so many cliches, its TV tropes page crashes if you try to check it. At least they all have good gameplay, so I think it would be cool to watch you play it. Alright, now that that's all done, I have one quick final question. How can Joe not be a weeb if his name is literally a JoJo reference? P.S. Neptunia for April Fools.
You got me. That's true. You got me. I don't have any defense. You got me.
Called Oot.
Called Oot. Yep. Definitely called Oot. For sure. Yep.
Next is...
Sorry, hold on. Thank you for that. That was very entertaining. Thank you. It was good, right?
Hmm?
That was good. I would very much like to play the Ease games. Yeah, for sure. I would very, very much be interested in trying those out. I hear great things about them. My only worry is that I just hope that they're not too easy. Really? You're not gonna laugh at that?
Oh, I was reading, sir. Say it again and I'll respond. The moment's totally not lost now.
The moment's gone. It's fine. Don't worry. Okay. Go for it.
The next person is Orn P.
Yeah, the last names are initialized, right? Yeah.
No, the name, I'm not sure if it's actually Orn. It looks maybe Dutch or German. It has, the accent over the O, the 2-dot accent. Mm-hmm. So I might be saying it wrong. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Do you have any thoughts on FromSoft removing levels for Sekiro?
Spoilers. Someone said that to me already, so actually not spoilers. No, I don't, because I don't believe them. So, like, what do you mean? Because Dark Souls didn't really have levels either. You know what I mean? Like, it's the only one that really had levels was Demon Souls. So yeah, I don't know. I don't believe anything that From Software says until I'm playing the game. And that's what I like. That's my policy for From Software. I don't know if they're just full of shit or if they think things are gonna happen and they don't go that way, which is understandable. Happens to me all the time, you know. So it's definitely not. It's not like the crime of the century. But oh, yeah, it came up. Oh wow, that is really big. What the hell? That is huge. Dun. All right, I'm gonna change the font size down to. I'm gonna cut it in half. Okay, I cut it in half. Sorry, and let's see if that fixes it.
While we're paused, thanks to Lemaniac, who just subscribed with Twitch Prime for 12 months in a row. Happy 1 year, Joe. Feels good, man.
Okay, there we go. It wasn't that big though. It wasn't overbearingly huge. So I think we're okay. But I lowered it a little bit, and hopefully it's a little better. Hopefully. Thank you, Lemania. Thank you. Anyway, as I was saying, I don't trust anything that From Software says because a lot of it also isn't always from them. It gets lost in translation, or it's not reported right. I distinctly remember hearing that Dark Souls 2 was not going to have iframes. I remember that. I remember reading it. I remember there was like a big thing about how it's not going to have iframes, and they redesigned the whole thing so it wasn't going to have iframes. And then it came out, and hey, well, it has iframes. So was that because they were talking about adaptability in the thing, and the interviewer didn't realize that was what was being said, or anything like that? So yeah, I do not, I don't trust anything that they say. For a myriad of reasons, and not necessarily because I think that they're being nefarious about it, to use two big pretentious words. Let's answer the question though, assuming that they're right. I think that would be great. I think that going, staying with the system that they have instead of going with what Neo does with different levels all over the place is the way to go, and that's what Dark Souls feels like for me. I really hope that they're going to try and do the interconnected world again, and it actually feels that way instead of it just being kind of everything just spread out over a flat plane. The other games did not do verticality in its levels at all, really. There's only, I think, one area in Dark Souls 3 that does that, maybe two, depending on how you want to look at it. But yeah, they're not really connected all that well. Dark Souls 2, DLC did a good job with it, but at the same time, yeah, I don't know. I would love for the game to do that, but I'm not gonna expect it, and I'm not gonna hold my breath, because as I said at the end of Dark Souls 3, the video on the Ring City, I've given up. I'm not expecting anymore. I don't want to be, heartbroken is too strong of a word, because disappointed, I guess, yeah. But I don't. Disappointed isn't strong enough. Somewhere between disappointed,
extremely disappointed,
and heartbroken. That they're not doing it, because that was the best part. That was the best part of Dark Souls 1, man. That's what made that game so special. And the one I played after Dark Souls 1 was Demon Souls, and then I played Dark Souls 2, and I played them in order after that. And none of the games had that, and it's like, okay, like all the rest of it was improved, and parts of the games were better. Combat was better, arguably. There were some good bosses, some good visuals. Even Dark Souls 2 has its strengths, but none of the other games even tried to do what Dark Souls 1 did that made it so special. So yeah, I still believe that it was an accident and it wasn't intentional. As time has gone on, when I first said that line in I can't remember what video it is. I think maybe it was Dark Souls 3 critique, not one of the DLCs. When I first wrote that line, I almost cut it from the script, and then when I recorded it, I almost cut it from the video, because I felt like it wasn't true. Like, how could it possibly be true? How could it be an accident? And as time has gone on, I'm happy that I kept it in, because as time goes on, I'm more and more certain of it, that it was completely accidental. That they just designed this world like this, and they just had a couple loops back when they were putting it together, and then they just kind of rolled with that, and it turned out really, really great. But yeah, because if it was an accident, I think they would have done it again by now, and they haven't, so we'll see. I haven't seen much of Sekiro, so I can't give you a long answer on how I think it's going to work. I do know there's a grappling line or a hook or something, and I think we're going into the time now where it's like every game has a goddamn grappling hook mechanic, which is probably for the best. They're good. Like, they add a lot of mobility options. Even this game could use a grappling hook. I don't really know much about it, sorry, because I'm trying to go in as blind as possible, and I don't even want to know what the first boss is, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. Someone recently sent me a message saying, hey, did you see the trailer? And I said, no, I'm trying not to see any information. And they said, oh man, well then you didn't see this really cool part. And I'm like, are you fucking serious right now, dude? Did you not hear what I just said? Like, yeah, so it's okay if I get spoiled a little, but I'm trying to be as blind as possible. Yeah, I hope it's interconnected. I hope they do a good job, but if they don't, I won't be disappointed, because I'm not getting my hopes up. That's it. Should I go stir the teas? They're probably ready now.
I
Right?
forgot about that.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Oh, you were...
Do you want to play?
No, I haven't played on the controller.
Stress, tension, pressure?
Too much pressure.
Pressure?
Pressure. Stardew pressure. You were holding me backward on the chair. The chairs were pushed together. And
Oh, was I?
yeah, I didn't notice until you got up. So, hi, you guys. How are you doing?
I think there were some bit messages.
Were they?
Yeah, I think Mad Big had a joke.
Well, your computer turned off again, so you have to do that when you get back.
Oh, great.
I haven't played since Finn was first born. That's how long it's been since I played Stardew. It's been too long since I played Stardew. I don't eat Taco Bell. I had it once, and it really upset my stomach, and that was the end of it. Oh, I'm glad, Keegan. I'm glad you're enjoying the book. Which one are you reading? The Hallingsford Murders or The Murder of Jennifer Moss? I'm good, thank you. Have you considered becoming a streamer after you've done with mom duties? Well, that's kind of way in the future still, and that means I have to actually play games, so we'll see, I guess, right? As they get older and more independent, maybe. Jennifer Moss, yeah, that's my favorite. The Hallingsfords did better, you know, and it sold more, but I felt like I improved a lot with that book, so I hope you enjoy it.
You don't have to stream to go on Twitch to play games. You can just go on just talking.
I don't know. If I just sat here and talked to everybody for an hour, I don't know if everyone would want to stay.
Someone will.
Yeah, maybe one person here might stay. But it'll be a one-on-one between
Audience of one.
me and Lily's audience of one. We'll just sit here and have a conversation.
Yeah, audience of one. You get a bit donation and you're like, I wonder who it's from.
I think your talking is good. Thank you, toe hair. Lily, how do you feel about Joe's growing obsession with delicious brown girls in the Danganronpa series? Has Joe asked you to get a tan? Well,
Delicious brown girls.
I don't want to advertise it too much, you know, because I didn't get a lot of sun this summer, but I'm a little olivey as it is, so, you know. My mother's family is Greek, so I got the tone.
Akane's the worst girl. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
So maybe it was always like this, and, you know, it's because of me that he had that feeling about the Danganronpa people, right?
Yeah, Matt Bake used to say, Joe, do you have any new stuffs on the Cringe Cafe? What about Monokuma Mocha? Or Hey Hazelnut Latte?
Oh, that's a good one.
Hey Hazelnut Latte. That is a good one.
It's a really
Those
good
are good.
one.
Those are good ones. Yeah. Damn. Do you think we're gonna open up an anime themed coffee shop?
Yeah.
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 That'd be pretty good, right?
Lily is most of the reason we show up for these streams. Thank you, Travuki.
Hey. Sorry, I'm eating Ann cookie. I never know what to do in this game. We were just wandering around.
Lily Fellow Greek. Oh, you're two Darth Cookies? That's a cool name. Yeah, just my mother's side. I'm not a full Greek or anything, and I don't speak it, but yeah. I got some of the looks. I got like half Slavic from my dad and like half Greek from my mom, so I got a big nose either way, right?
I like your nose.
I like it too, but I'm just saying. I used to hate it. I grew into it. Thank you for the bit, Noserald. Wonder who this one's from.
Leon?
Yeah, I'd love to go to Greece. It looks so beautiful, and there's so much history.
Wait, why did my inventory get all turned around? That's weird. When did that happen?
There was a Danganronpa themed coffee shop that only lasted about a month in Japan.
Was there really?
Mm-hmm.
Did you never get what you ordered? This isn't what I ordered. What's the next Patreon question? Bidet or toilet paper? Toilet paper, man. I've never used the bidet, but I won't knock it until I've tried it.
Bidets are too fancy for Moncton.
I just feel like it would be very like, oh, what the fuck just happened? Like, I don't know. I don't think I'd like it. You know?
I think the first time I would giggle.
Like, you know when you first go outside?
Like, oh, what's that?
Like when you first go outside in winter and it's really sudden, really cold, and it's like a rush of like cold, especially if it's like sleet and it hits your face and you're like, what the fuck? It'd be like that, but on your butt. And I don't think I'd like that.
Actually, it makes me, yeah, you get used to it, kind of. It wouldn't be that bad. It'd just be a little bit weird. I'm remembering, you know.
What are you remembering?
I'm remembering, I don't know if I should say.
Okay.
Or maybe I've gone too far now.
I have no idea what you're about to say, so I'm on the edge of my body pillow right now. Like what is it?
Okay, after you have a baby,
okay,
right?
All right. We're safe.
They give you this little squeeze bottle, and you fill it with water.
Okay, all right.
And you're supposed to, instead of like wiping and irritating the area, you're supposed to spray yourself after you pee or whatever you do, right? And then just gently, you know, like so you don't irritate, you know, anything. And yeah, so when you think about it, I haven't used a bidet, but I had my own squeeze bottle. So does that kind of count? It's like the less classy medical version of it, right?
I thought they gave it to you just in case a cat came in.
That too.
Okay.
But you find other purposes for it.
All right. Someone says, Joe, you're not getting a brisk cold water shot up your bum. Oh, is it heated?
So that's my too much.
What if it's too hot though? That could go the other way.
Warm water. You don't. I once put too much hot water in there, and that wasn't pleasant. But yeah.
No, in the bidet, the bidets are heated.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. I don't know.
That would be nicer than the cold water.
I don't know if we can afford that.
Maybe too fancy. Maybe we should make it a Patreon goal. If we reach this amount, we'll get a bidet, and Lily can stop using squirt bottles, or just stop having babies. One or the other, right? So yeah, anything else for the Q&A that you want us to know that we know all about that?
This is
there's no
streams after dark.
No filters on these Q&As.
No filters at all. Okay, what's the next question? Who's it from?
Carlos S. He's here.
Carlos S. How's it going, Carlos? Carlos.
Hey, Joe and Lily. How are you guys doing?
We're okay.
My questions for this month are as follows. Which game do you like more, The Last of Us or God of War? What made me want to ask you this is that part in the God of War video where you say that God of War feels like the first AAA game in a long time that had the attention to detail and passion of an indie game swirling inside of it. I believe this can also apply to The Last of Us, and I actually would love to see you talking about both games and saying which one you like more.
God of War is the one I like more than The Last of Us. I probably like the story more in The Last of Us, and I do like the gameplay in The Last of Us. It's not that bad, but I feel like The Last of Us is just a more grounded version of what Naughty Dog is used to making in Uncharted and what was just kind of popular at the time. You know, third-person cover shooter. Whereas I feel like God of War takes more of a risk and is really trying to do something new, and they weren't always successful, and I don't mean brand new. I mean new amongst that themselves. You know, like for that developer, and they were really trying to do something there. Whereas The Last of Us, while it does make some changes, and I especially appreciate how you can craft things during combat with that menu and stuff, and it's a decent enough game. It's not as bad as a lot of people say it is. It is still more by the numbers and more just this is what was going on at the time that it was released than God of War is currently. So I find God of War more impressive in that regard. For visuals, they're probably about the same. They're very close to, you know, Last of Us looked incredible when it first came out. It still looks pretty good. God of War looks incredible now, and it'll still look pretty good. years from now, unless there's a huge revolution with the next consoles, which there won't be, considering how lackluster RTX has been. But yeah, I think that the proper way to judge it is just comparing gameplay and the story together. Once you've taken those things away, well acted, presentation's great, music's great, Last of Us is probably better paced, but it does have some issues somewhere in the middle where the first chapter kind of goes on for quite a while. There's that whole scene where there's I'm trying not to spoil too much in case someone hasn't played it, but I think most of us have, so I don't really even need to be specific. You're gonna understand what I'm saying. But there are a couple parts in it where combat is just kind of like, hey, have some combat right now, and you're like, no, I really wish that there wasn't combat here at the moment. So there's that sort of thing. So yeah, they're about even. So I would say it comes down to story and gameplay, and I think Last of Us has the better story, and God of War has the better gameplay. But the gameplay in God of War is way better than compared to The Last of Us than the story in Last of Us is compared to the story in God of War. So okay, let me say it again because that was probably a little confusing. The Last of Us has a slightly better story than God of War. God of War's gameplay is significantly better than The Last of Us gameplay. So God of War wins out for me quite handily because of that. I don't know. I feel like I'm all Last of Us out, and you're asking me about God of War after I've already done my kind of purge. Like I just finished the video on it, and I've just deleted all the information out of my head. So that's probably bad of me to do that, but it happens a lot when projects get so huge, and that there's so much to remember about them all, that once it's done, it's kind of like letting go of a breath that you've been holding for months. It's like, okay, that's gone, I can forget about it. I say often that I don't remember making a lot of videos, and I recently watched part of the God of War video back, and I don't remember making it. So and I say that quite often, and it's like, okay, well, is that because I made it too quickly? And I don't think that's the case. I think it's because it's such a hard project, and there's so much to it that you have to kind of all let it go at the end. And I think writers will say the same about a lot of books that they do too, when they get really, really long, and it's okay that happens, I think. Yeah. I don't know, what else can I say about that? They do have a lot of similarities. I have that line in the God of War video, right, where I say The Last of Us was so clearly inspiration that I'm not even going to talk about it for the rest of the video. Some people might have been mad that, or disappointed that I said that, and that I should have elaborated and made more comparisons as it went on, but the video was already too long. I don't know what to do about videos that get that long anymore. I'm getting mixed feedback. I have most people are telling me that they like the long videos, and they prefer that, and they like log content, they like that it's in depth, they like the examples. And then there's a set of people that it doesn't seem to be that populous, but they're very passionate about the view that the video is too long, and that they think that an hour should be the maximum. But I kind of feel like that might be a I don't know, a fallacy in some way. It's like, it's easy to say, oh, you made a 3-hour video, what the hell, 1 hour is way more reasonable. Well, if I had only made 1 hour videos up until now, maybe there'd be people saying, wow, 1 hour is way too long, 20 minutes is way more reasonable. You know what I mean? Like, it's whatever the maximum is, however high you've gone, anything below that is something more reasonable, So maybe I should just make a 20-hour video, and then I can do whatever I want after that, because I can always say, well, at least it's not 20 hours. I remember when I made the video for Stardew, someone posted it on the Stardew subreddit, and the Stardew video is 20 minutes, and someone said, wow, a 20-minute review, that's the longest review I've ever seen, that's way too long. How could you possibly talk about it for 20 minutes?
Well, after you do Witcher, though, you can be like, well, nothing comes close to Witcher.
Yeah.
So because realistically, could you imagine doing Witcher in like an hour-long video?
No,
you'd have to talk really fast, and you'd have to cut so much, and you'd have to give like one line here and there about the things that you wanted to. You have to be super condensed.
Super condensed.
Super condensed.
Super, 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 super. Yeah, super, super, super condensed.
Like the cliff notes for the books, and like that's it,
Yeah, I think people don't understand that about some of the videos, but it's easy to dismiss. I'm sorry that this has become the answer to this question. By the way, it's not even something that's on my mind. It just came up as I was thinking about it. How long the video was, trying to remember all of it. It's not that. It's really easy to dismiss criticism as, okay, well that's just not my target audience, who cares? But that's not good, because what if they do have a point? It's not good to just dismiss stuff like that. But it's hard to know for sure. It's hard to know. Okay, well, does this person hate the video because it's too long? Or are they interested in the information, but they just don't want to spend that amount of time on it? So they're saying it's too long because they just are assuming it's too long because it's too long for them to try to watch it. You know what I mean? And that can be very presumptuous, and it's a bad trap to fall into. But I know that it happens. I know there are people that have left comments on Reddit, especially, saying this video is way too long. He should have made it shorter. And then, someone replies and said, okay, well, what parts of it do you think could have been cut away? And then that person replies with, well, I didn't watch it. And it's like, well, how do you know?
Or I didn't watch all of it.
Yeah.
I see a lot of comments.
How do you know it's too long then?
I watched the first 10 minutes and that was it.
So it's difficult. But again, like I say, it's an easy trap to fall into to just dismiss criticism like that. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that kind of person. And that kind of creator. But yeah, anyway, I think that Last of Us is a very, very good game. It's one of my favorite games. I think it marks an important turning point for gaming, having its first really, really, really good, solid presented story in that kind of environment that isn't just hey, a bunch of gameplay sequences and here's some cinematics that look completely different than the actual game. It feels more cohesive, to put it in a way that I'm not going to elaborate on because I'm being a scumbag. And it was very important. But I think gaming is going to get to a point where we're going to look back at The Last of Us and say, wow, that was really rudimentary. I think we're going to think that way about Dark Souls too. Many years, decades from now, if I'm lucky enough to still be alive and doing all this, that we'll look back at Dark Souls and go, oh wow, that passed for brilliance. Like, oh wow, we've come a long way. I think that there's at least one big revolution of gameplay left to happen in gaming in our lifetime, and another big revolution in storytelling in gaming as well. But hey, baby steps and all that. I don't know. That's talking about gameplay at large, though, and how I think that budgets and the expectation of movies compared to video games have kind of crippled game progression. It's really sad that we just played Danganronpa 1 and 2, and that has some of the best storytelling moments that I've ever experienced in the medium. And I'm not saying that as a compliment to Danganronpa 2. I'm saying that as criticism of the whole medium at large, because Danganronpa 1 and 2 are like, what? Like, really? Like, what? Huh? Like, it's like this? Really? Like, so, yeah. Anyway, I hope Last of Us 2 gets more than was shown at E3. I'm very disappointed with what I saw. It just looked like more of Last of Us 1, just a little prettier. And we know from experience that Naughty Dog lies in their presentations. So I'm skeptical of even the little improvements that I saw. So if it's just more of the same, hey, I'll enjoy it. It'll be good, but it won't be great. So I am concerned about where Last of Us 2 is going, but I think we'll talk about that a little bit more because someone else asked about that. But anyway, yeah.
Is this cookie for me?
Mm-hmm. I brought you a cookie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do you mind telling how's your work routine like now that you guys are more used to the new house and that the streams are treated more like events? In other words, what's a typical workday like when you're not streaming and only working on the next video project?
So it's too soon to tell you anything like that, sorry, because we only really just got done the first stream event since we started doing the events, and it didn't go very well. I can't remember exactly what got me into a narcolepsy spiral. I don't know if it was because of the streams, or if it was I was on a bad schedule even before we started. or if it's because I just so happen to just have a bad time, right around that time. I have not been feeling very well ever since Danganronpa 2 was over, even a little bit before we were done. Maybe you could tell during the stream. Not really having that good of a time. Not in terms of being sick or not enjoying the game, just tired. So yeah, I wasn't sleeping very much, and I got into a really really bad schedule, and that's why we just kind of like let's get it done, and then I can recover. And since then, it's been recovering a lot from sleep debt, which never really goes away. Recent studies have shown that some of it kind of goes away, but yeah. Never mind about that. So I can't really answer your question, unfortunately, because it was an outlier. Even for me, that was an outlier. I'm usually not that bad, or at least I haven't been that bad. I think since Finn was born. So I don't know if it's a bunch of things that just added up. That it was God of War video, crunching like that like crazy, with a short recovery period into streaming again, and also with the move. I keep telling Lily, it's like I don't really like. I keep looking around the house and go, oh yeah, we're here. I mean, like it's, and I don't think that's unusual. I don't know why we came over to kill that crystal specifically, but we did. I don't think that's unusual. I think that's what a lot of people will go through when they have such a big move, especially when they've been stuck in the previous place for so long. But that coupled with the two big projects back to back, it wasn't just going, let's go to work. It was like 14 hours a day, every single day, sometimes even longer if I wasn't sleeping, and then short recovery time, and then right into the streams. So I know that made sound bad, but I'm just trying to answer the question. So maybe that's why. But typically, before that was happening, it was go to bed a little after the kids go to bed. I like to get up early, which is very strange for me to say that now, because if I went back in time 10 years and said that to my younger self, he would be like, holy shit, when did you get a beard? And then I would be like, I like to get up early, and I prefer to get up at around like 5. Like 5 is my preferred time to get up, but sometimes that doesn't work out and I need to get up at 6. 5 is my preferred time to get up, and I have some time to myself before Lily wakes up and before the kids wake up, and then we go through the day. I get as much work done as I can while also interacting with Lily and the kids. Less clinical than that sounds, and then the goal of getting up that early is not only to have a little bit of time to myself in the morning, but also that once the kids go to bed, I am like, oh my god, I'm tired. And because I'm tired and I've been awake for so long, I will actually go to sleep. And usually if I can if I can maintain that, I can stay on a schedule for weeks, sometimes even months. That's the best luck I've ever had with the schedule. The problem with that is even when it's all working out well, there are times during the evenings, probably maybe an hour or two before the kids go to bed, that I'm literally nodding off in my chair. I'm just like I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm so tired. So I need to fight through that and not fall asleep, and then I'm okay to go to sleep a few hours after the kids go to sleep. But that's my preferred schedule. But it doesn't always work.
The kids mess you up too. Sometimes where look, tonight he didn't go to sleep. If you were trying to sleep through that wouldn't have happened.
That's what I think happened right before the streams. Now that I'm thinking of it, I'm thinking back. Sorry, a lot's happened this year, and a lot's happened the past 4 months especially. But I think that's what happened. I think because we were trying to do the Q&A. Remember, we were trying to do the last Q&A and we couldn't do it because Finn kept screaming. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what was going on. That's when we got off the schedule, and you got off the schedule too, and then the kids got off the schedule, and and then it was right into streaming right after that, and that's probably what caused it, was that Finn wouldn't go to sleep. So like me going to bed right after they do wasn't working because Finn was screaming, I don't want to go to sleep, I don't want to go to sleep, and that was keeping me awake. And I think the turning point was what, like four nights before Danganronpa 2, or 4 nights before we did the Q&A, I can't remember, when we had laid in bed for like 2 hours waiting for the kids to go to sleep, and then we just got back up, remember?
Yeah.
And I think I've been awake for 24 hours that day.
It always seems to happen the days that you try to loop around or something, and you've been awake for a really long time, and then he won't let you sleep.
And then he's bad. I don't know why. Maybe he senses it in some way, or I don't know. Maybe he's worried. I don't know. He's a pretty sensitive kid. Leo's more sensitive. But anyway, yeah. So I can't really talk about it much. Sorry. I'm sorry to keep repeating that, and to apologize so much, like the Canadian that I am. I have been getting quite a bit of work done outside of streams, though. I have quite a lot done on 3 video projects right now, if you include the one that I was a fair ways into before God of War. The one on Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terranigma. I think I'm gonna have to return to that, and I'm going to have to maybe play one of the games again to know for sure, because it's been really disruptive. Like I haven't properly looked at that project since before we even moved, because God of War took it over, right? So I didn't realize when I was putting that on the back burner to do God of War that we were going to move across the country. So there's going to have to be some refreshing going on there. But there are 2 other videos that I've worked on since then. One is The Messenger, and we'll talk about that a little later. Someone asked about that. That should have been done already, but I'll explain when we get to that question. And the other one, you guys will see soon. It's something that people have been asking for, so we shall see. I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to tease. You've been teased. Tease. Okay. Speaking of tease. Did Carlos have any other questions?
Yes.
Okay. Are they quick ones?
Yes.
Because we have the new 2-question limit now. Yeah. Sorry to have to do that, but yeah, it was getting too much, and I'd rather lower it than raise the price or cancel the Q&As. I think this is the best way to go. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Also, some quick questions for you and Lily. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
Probably vanilla. Yeah, probably vanilla. Everyone says vanilla is kind of boring, but it's actually a very complex flavor, allegedly. I don't know. Yeah, probably vanilla.
If we're being, basic, then I normally would have vanilla. I did enjoy that cookie dough one that time.
Cookie dough?
I did enjoy that, but my favorite is that gelato thing we used to get with the caramel.
Oh, the little bit of caramel. Yeah, but that's still vanilla ice cream. Yeah, it's vanilla ice cream with
vanilla ice cream with caramel swirls in it.
Yeah, that was good.
And it had these like little flake things on top. I don't know what they were.
The Smartie ice cream was good too.
Like a cookie kind of crumbly kind of thing. I don't know what it was on top, and it was so good. But
we're not big on ice cream. Like we
I
don't
ate
have
a lot of it when I was pregnant with Leo.
Yeah,
which was funny because that was in the winter.
Not big on ice cream. Milkshakes on the other hand, we like milkshakes. Burger King has a really good milkshake, and there's a Burger King reasonably close to where we moved to, so we've been having
Dairy
probably.
Queen had a good one. I really liked the Dairy Queen one.
We probably had like 1 or 2 too many of those.
How much do you guys love pancakes?
I do not like pancakes.
I love pancakes with maple syrup because I'm Canadian too. It's like a vessel for the syrup. You just drown it in syrup.
I think I would like to try pancakes. Give pancakes another chance with butter, not maple syrup. I do not like maple syrup. I don't even like how maple syrup smells. I feel like
Put
it has
a little bit of butter and then
too strong of a smell. It's like, oh my god, like maple syrup. Holy shit. Like when maple syrup enters the room, it's just like oh shit.
Yeah, but it's just so sweet, and it's kind of like the pancakes are kind of savory almost because they're kind of like.
See, I was about to tell you that I don't like pancakes because they're too sweet. I think I would prefer it to be maybe is there like a whole wheat pancake? There must be, right?
Maybe if you use different flour or whatever.
Maybe I'll try that and see.
I like waffles too, but I eat more pancakes.
Not a big pancakes. Get out of here, pancakes, boy. This is a Waffle House.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
Ass. Squid. The animal, not the Discord member. Yeah, squid.
An octopus for me, which is in the same family.
That's pretty tame, I know, but yeah, squid.
And it was not good. It was very rubbery.
The ass?
No, the octopus.
The octopus? What did it taste like? Was it kind of like nothing?
I felt like I was eating like elastic band.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way about squid
like
too.
Rubbery. I don't like any seafood, so I was grossed out already. But you know,
it was kind of like an onion ring that didn't taste like onions.
Yeah. Wouldn't eat it again. But I don't like calamari or anything like that. It's... Yeah. Anyway. And do you prefer apples or pears?
Apples. Pears are just pretending to be apples.
I like both, but I prefer the Macintosh apples. They're my favorite. They're kind of sour. They're my favorite apple. Yeah, I know those are random questions. Once again, thank you guys for everything you do. Really, I love being part of this community, and both of you are really inspiring to me. Much love to you, too.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you.
Thanks, Carlos.
Carlos is so nice.
Yeah, he's a sweet guy. Oh, are you kidding me? I kept doing this while you were talking, and it worked.
The red light.
And now, as soon...
Yeah, the laptop turned itself off.
As soon as I need it now, it turned off.
Oh no, we're gonna make it. Oh no. Oh no.
So, thank you to...
Oh no, oh no. Oh, we're gonna make it.
Thank you to Squirtle Turtle 13, who used 1 bit and says Ask Cleaners. I think that's from the bidet time.
Ask Cleaners.
Thank you to Some Dumbass, who subscribed with Prime.
Are you friends with frickin' Moron? Thank you, Some Dumbass.
One can hope. Thank you to Misfit119, who subscribed with Prime.
Thank you, Misfit.
Thank you to SQ Cranberry.
Square Cranberry.
Okay. Who resubscribed with Prime for 12 months and says, 1 year, thanks for all the content, entertainment, insight, and cringe-worthy things.
Square Cranberry hit the big 12. Always good to see your name, Square Cranberry. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you.
Thank you to Learning25, who subscribed with Prime.
Learning25?
Yeah.
Thank you, Learning25. Welcome to Prime Time.
Thank you to Popsicle Daydream, who resubscribed for 11 months with Prime. Another month, another weeb sub. At least you know.
Are the weebs ever gonna go away?
Not if you keep playing weeb games.
Not the weeb. Not the weebs themselves. Like the weeb joke. Is it ever gonna go away?
You keep giving them more and more, so no. You're just feeding the weebs.
I'm feeding the weebs.
Thank you to Ralph Clocks, who used 100 bits and says, "What about your 3 a.m. workout?" When you were talking about getting up early.
Oh yeah, after pooping is quite the workout for a dragon, for sure. What?
Then you get to use your little squirt bottle.
Yeah, then use the bidet. Yeah. Start your day with the bidet.
Thank you to Bihosu, who resubscribed for 12 months and says thank you for the great content.
Are you sure it's great content? Thank you. You're very welcome.
Thank you to Free the Masons, who resubscribed for 3 months.
Thank you, Free the Masons. Thank you. That was a lot of subs. Mm-hmm. Damn. Thank you very much, Free the Masons.
Next is Anthony I.
Hey, Anthony I.
Hey guys, 2 questions for Joe this month. Thanks and keep up the good work.
2 questions for Joe. Get fucked, Lily. No questions for you.
No questions for Lily. That's okay. I can sit here and drink my tea in peace.
You gonna sip?
I'm gonna sip.
You're gonna sip. A Lily sip.
A Lily sip.
Okay, that was pathetic. You gotta up your sip game. You have to really commit to it. You should already be sucking before it goes in your mouth, okay? You gotta go... like that. There you go.
You're a hose.
Better. But I expect improvement. Okay?
Expect improvement. You hear this? He expects improvement.
It. Do not be sorry. Be better.
Wow.
Yep. Anyway, what's the question, dear?
I'm really tempted right now. I won't do it because I'm not that kind of girl. But I'm just gonna let you in on the thought I'm entertaining in my mind of why Joe will wish that we had a bidet when I dump the tea in his lap. But I won't do it because I'm nice. But yeah. Would you consider adding the Twitch chat overlay to your OBS, assuming that's what you use to record your streams for the YouTube uploads? That way the chat can be seen for those of us who watch the VODs on YouTube. As I'm sure you're aware, the Twitch VODs tend to have awful playback quality, especially for long streams with frequent stutters and the chat sometimes malfunctioning altogether. As far as I know, the overlay is not difficult to run and can be easily enabled through Streamlabs.
So yeah, I wanted to do this for the Danganronpa 2 streams, but it has some setup time involved because the old PC that I used to make the other videos on isn't set up just now. I need to get, actually I was meaning to tell you, I need to get I should get a little table downstairs to put all the consoles on and everything next to the desk downstairs.
I was hoping that you were going to use that shelf that's down there if we could eventually clear all that shit
No,
out
that's not going to work.
No? Okay.
Yeah, it needs to be next to the
Okay,
computer.
we can do
Yeah.
that.
So one of those flimsy desks we were looking at last night.
Yeah.
Just one of those we can go down there. But anyway, yeah. But that's not set up yet, and I was going to use a laptop, but I'm using the laptop regularly at the moment, so I can't use that either. So yeah, and even if I could, I didn't have enough setup time before the stream started because my schedule got so messed up. So I'm sorry about that, but I did have every intention of trying to do that for the Danganronpa 2 streams. Can I, and I don't know if anyone knows this, so I might just be saying this out loud and so I remember later, can I have the OBS chat overlay on just for the recording so you guys can't see it, but it goes onto the recording? Because if I could do that, that would help quite a lot. But at the same time, that would ruin any chance of me using it for any videos or anything. So maybe I still have to do it the other way, where I have another computer set up recording chat so I can render it together afterwards. So sorry, but yeah, I do want to make that happen and have chat on YouTube. I prefer watching them with chat as well. I think that something is lost from the streams when you don't have chat. But yeah, even though most people in chat don't deserve to be on the videos, they don't deserve it because they're weeb. No, I'm kidding. But no, they. I would like to solve that. But yeah,
Don't anger them.
I'll look into it. Don't angry the weeb.
You don't know what you do.
Hold their head under the bidet. It's okay. Oh, we missed the traveling shop. Shit.
At one point in your stream of Danganronpa 1, you were talking about games that you think are masterpieces.
Mm-hmm.
In spite of the likelihood maybe, of an eventual video on this game, since we all know how much you'd enjoy streaming it, as well as in honor of its recent 3rd birthday, I must ask, is Undertale a masterpiece?
Yes. All right, next question. Yes, I think it is. But I think it's going to be one of those things that's a masterpiece for its time. And it's going to have a lot of cultural relevance for how people treated games when gaming was in its infancy. If I ever do a video on it, that will make more sense. But I've seen a bit of discussion on Undertale about what is Undertale really about, And to me, Undertale is a meta experience on many different levels. It will acknowledge at some point, you know, that it's a game. I won't go into any more detail on that because I don't want to spoil it. But Undertale to me is clearly, so I feel strongly about this because I'm throwing down the C word, is clearly about how people interact with games, and your attitude and how you treat games will determine what happens when you play Undertale, and it will respond to that, and you will have a I think you will have a better experience with Undertale now than people will decades from now when games have matured, because Undertale plays with your expectations of what a game could be, and it also specifically is laid out like a trap for people who don't take games seriously but still play a lot of games. That they don't treat games the same way that you would treat a character in a book or in a movie, you know. So that's what I think. It's very interesting, and it's very conniving, but I don't think it's gonna hold up in the future. So yeah, masterpiece for its time, and that's a good thing. That doesn't have to be and that's a good thing, but that doesn't have to be, you know, a criticism. Like what else can be, you know. It's definitely going to be timeless in terms of visuals, I think, and gameplay. It's definitely all right there, so and the music was fantastic. Yeah, you know, that all everything about Undertale is already old. You know, it's already old and it still holds up. So I just don't think the story will, and it'll be one of those, you know, games that if games are studied, and I think games will be studied one day, that if it's ever studied like some old books are, that they'll have to be like an introductory like piece that you have to read first and say, hey, this is how people considered games back then. It's very important that you have this context, you know. Like there are books that you can't really read now without having that, you know, that information kind of forced on you. Parts of it won't make sense. But the idea of games being studied in school is kind of like I'm pretty sure there's at least one person who just kind of recoiled when I said that. I was like, ugh, like that's not gonna happen. It almost certainly will. It sounds foreign even to me saying it, and yet I have to admit that it will happen. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a masterpiece. I do. Undertale is very, very good. It is a very good experience. It has a very good story. I like the presentation. I hated it at first, but I like the presentation, and it also it's also fun to play. It's challenging. It's interesting. It has some parts of it that are a little bit down and kind of but arguably the biggest problem it has in gameplay is intentional, which is that it can drag at parts during one of the routes. But I think that's intentional. And yeah, I'll do a video on Undertale almost certainly one day. Yeah. I have a lot to say about Undertale, and I'm kind of sad that I didn't get the collector's edition for the Switch, because I thought that was interesting. I had a Psalm book or something. Maybe I can still get it, but I thought, oh, I should get that, and then I didn't. So I do think that that it's a masterpiece. Yeah, that'll be an interesting video, because I think most people are going to expect me to shit on it, and I expected to hate it too. I didn't think I was going to like it, but hey, I did. Good for me.
Thank you to Action Cure, who used 100 bits, and says if you use a boiling hot bidet and then use the bidet, you will have a cooked ass, and in turn you can eat ass.
Oh, that's true. That's a good point.
This is a good point.
That's a good point. I think I prefer my ass raw, though. What do you think?
It's all you.
Raw ass.
I can't tell you how to eat ass.
Who can? Who among us can, right? Was that all the questions from that person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And thank you to Keegan Loses, who resubscribed for 3 months and says, I've been working with Nick for chat VODs. That is a separate video of just chat that can be added on later. It might be an option. And he later sent a thing that I opened, an Imgur thing.
Okay.
Picture thing that you can look at after.
I'll look at it later.
In relation, I think, to that. And thank you to...
Thank you, Keegan Loses. Thank you. That's definitely the way to go. I think I would record it on a separate thing, or get the logs from somewhere, and then have it overlay when I render the video together. Yep.
Thank you to Hoken, who used 25 bits, and I think it's just a cheer.
Okay, thank you.
I can't see the emote thing on the.
Someone is asking in chat if a fight in Undertale is the hardest fight you've ever done or not. Do I still think? Did I say it was the hardest fight? I don't think it is. I don't know what the hardest fight I've ever done is, or the hardest thing that I've ever done in games. But I don't think that's probably. I don't know. It got easier as it went along. A candidate is well, raids in WoW are probably some of the hardest things I've ever done. But that's not just because of me. That's because of the whole team and multiplayer teamwork experience. So does that count? Because then trying to win a game of Fortnite against other people that are really 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 good can end up being like the hardest thing you've ever done. So I don't think that counts. So if we're going for single player experiences. The hardest thing that I've ever done in games that I've struggled with the most has been beating Metal Gear Solid 2 on European Extreme. The Harrier jet, Vamp, the Metal Gear Rays at the end, Dr. Octopus, like that was really really tough, and I was there for hours and hours and hours on every single one of those bosses when I played that game when I was a teenager. And so that's probably going to be one of the hardest things that I've done, and I don't know if that's because they're legitimately hard or if they're cheap or I was just playing them wrong. I don't know, but like I really struggled, and that was really tough. Yeah, for sure.
Hey Joe, sorry for asking again. Just wondering if you'd like to get around to Bayonetta 2. I think it's a huge improvement over the first game in almost every department, but it can be a little similar to the first points. Help you have fun if you play it. I thought I was going to lose it.
For sure, yeah. But Bayonetta 2 for sure. I'm really excited to play Bayonetta 2, and I would like to play. I like to play Wonderful 101 as well. Yeah. I played Devil May Cry quite a bit when I was growing up, and playing Bayonetta again and Rising has kind of reignited my interest in those kind of games, and I would like to go back to them. Bayonetta 2, Wonderful 101. Let's try Vanquish as well. I know that's different, but it's platinum again. I'd really like to give that a shot. Sure, yeah.
And thank you to another Twitch account who subscribed with Prime.
Thank you very much, another Twitch account. Welcome to Prime Time. Sorry, moving the mouse a little bit to make sure that it doesn't turn off. There's no way the Bayonetta 2 is better than 1. Most people say that it's better. I was recently talking to Turbo Button, who loves those games, and he told me that he originally thought that the second one was better, but he's changed his mind. He thinks that the second one is still a good game, but that the first one's better. He said something about how the second one has a little bit more bullshit in it with some of its tells, and that some of the timings are a little too easy or too generous. I don't know. I don't know why I'm hitting the button. But yeah, I hope that it's as good. I really enjoyed Bayonetta 1. I had a good time with it. It was a bit stressful playing it on stream because I felt like the judgment of chat. But that's always kind of going to happen. I'm a little worried about playing the Zero Escape games on stream for a similar reason. I feel like if I ever struggle at something, then it's going to be memes for days. But we'll talk a little bit more about that later on because someone else asked a question about that, and I think it was one of the early ones, but I can't remember, and we'll speak about that a little bit. But yeah, I don't know if we're going to play the Zero Escape games on stream. Because of that reason, or if we do, I might play them first on my own, and then I'll stream them as a kind of a community experience sort of thing. I still think that would end up being a good stream, but it'll be less frustrating for me and possibly for chat too. But like I said, sorry, we'll talk about that a little later. Anyway, what's the next question, Lily?
Photonic Dog.
Great name.
Hi there, big fan of your videos and just getting into streams. I have some questions.
Okay.
In your Dark Souls 3 video, you mentioned you played Demon's Souls and that it was your least favorite.
Yep.
Can you go into why? I'm inclined to agree for a good amount of it, but I'm not sure how much of that should account for the fact it was getting started and should be excused, and how much was genuinely not good. A lot of people find the Tower of Latria to be one of the pinnacle designs of the series, but outside of its atmosphere and visual design, I found it frustrating and annoying. Can you give your thoughts on Demon Souls?
There's way better areas than Tower Latria.
Let me get up so I can go and use the bathroom and not a bidet
Okay.
while you talk.
Can you get around me? Okay.
Yeah, I'm okay now.
We're,
Now that I'm up, it's
we're
just
really squished in here.
sitting close to you and a microphone.
Whoops. Yeah, there are way better designed areas in Souls than Tower of Latria. I don't know where people are saying that from. Maybe atmosphere, maybe, yeah, but there's way better than that. So I played Dark Souls 1 as this is just isn't going away, huh? This pool. Dark Souls 1 was the first one that I played in the series, and then I got Demon Souls. And I knew going in when I was playing Demon Souls that Demon Souls came first, but I had this really weird moment when I first played it that, you know, there was a magic bar, and some of the animations were a little more fancy with the parry. And I think the backstab as well. I can't remember, but it was definitely the parry, you know. And I had this really weird moment. I was like, is this did this one come first? Because it felt a little more. Some parts of it felt a little bit more developed, and I had a moment where I had to stop and go look it up. And I said, like, is Demon Souls the second one? And I was like, oh yeah, it is the first one. Okay, that's kind of weird. But then that was all gone when I saw the first demon thing at the end of that first area, the smaller version of the Asylum Demon. Like that thing looks just so dated and horrible compared to anything in Dark Souls. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this one definitely came first. So I don't like the world tendency system. I think that it is unnecessarily complicated, and it's not explained very well in the game. I do not like the levels and how the world is arranged. I don't like all the load times. I think that is a really big thing that drags it down. That might not be fair, but unfortunately that's just part of how games are. You know, like if you chose to make your game on a console and you chose to optimize it so poorly, or you made your level so detailed that it has these massive load times, and you know you have every right to complain about it and say that it brings the game down. The first version of Witcher 1 also suffered from that, and it wasn't fixed until the enhanced edition. So it's not just Demon Souls I'm picking on. So I hate the load times. I hate that it's structured with different levels. It's hard for me to separate that though. If there weren't load times like that, maybe I would like it, and I would maybe even prefer for a Souls game to maybe have those levels sometimes. I think it's something different. It's a bit fresh. I also really like the idea that you start in a hub and you can go to these different levels, and that as you progress deeper into them, they start to intertwine and crisscross over each other. I think that would be kind of cool. But as of now, it's quite a heavy negative. I didn't think the bosses were all that interesting. The combat just wasn't really there. A lot of the bosses were completely forgettable and were just basically really big, slow, highly telegraphed attack that's coming at you, and you just very simply and very calmly move out of the way and then just hit back at them again. You know, I think that a lot of the problems that people have in Demon Souls is not from any legitimate source of difficulty. It's that they just look at a boss and they think, wow, that's so much bigger than me. There's no way that's going to be easy to kill, when it turns out that it is. There were quite a lot of bosses that were very kind of like gaping dragon in that regard, I think. So it wasn't all that satisfying. Sorry, Lily's coming back. Yeah, so there's a few too many bosses that felt kind of like puzzles instead of you are solving something through an action game. And some people really like that. Some people like that part of it more than anything else, and that's fair, that's fine. I definitely think that idea has more merit to it than Dark Souls 1's combat, because Dark Souls 1 combat after you play after you play Dark Souls 2, 3, and Bloodborne isn't all that great anymore. It's a bit dated, and it's hard to go back to. But I don't think Demon Souls does it that well that it deserves a lot of celebration. It's just kind of there. But it's still very interesting, and I like it a lot. Like I still please don't get the wrong impression, because I'm kind of down on it at the moment compared to the other ones. I really enjoyed Demon Souls, and it had quite a few moments that stuck out. One of them is in Tower Latria with that big contraption that gets pulled out. It has some really cool moments, and I think that a lot of it should be forgiven because it's the first one in the series. But as you can probably tell, I'm struggling to talk about it a little bit because I'm not that experienced with it, because I've only played it once. It is the only Souls game that I've only played once, and part of the reason for that is that it's on the PlayStation 3, so it's kind of a pain in the ass to get it set up, and also those load times. I hate it. It's like I'm really impatient. I don't like waiting. I don't like being stuck somewhere and I have nothing to do, but I especially don't like waiting when I'm playing a game and I should be having fun. It's like, this should be fun time. I shouldn't be sitting here waiting for a screen to update. So that's part of it, and I'm quite impatient. But yeah, I can probably think of an area in every single Souls game that's better than Tower Latria. Undead Burg / Parish in Dark Souls 1 is better. All of the DLC areas in Dark Souls 2 are better. The DLC areas in Dark Souls 3 are better. There's the Cathedral of the Deep is better as well, I think. I really like Cathedral of the Deep in Dark Souls 3. And Bloodborne, Yharnam is probably better as well. But Yharnam's level design is good, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and play Bloodborne again. My memories are getting a little hazy, but it's not the biggest strength, I think, of it. Trying to think. I don't know. It's been a while since I played a Souls game. Like, last time I played it was on stream when the remaster came out, and that was it. Like, just a brief little thing, and that's it. It's been a while now since I did a Souls video. It kind of feels weird. It's like I'm neglecting the Souls. Hopefully Sekiro brings me back a little bit.
Well, you could do Bloodborne too, but oh wait.
Yeah, no, Bloodborne 2. Yeah. Demon Souls is kind of is definitely should be forgiven for being the first in the series and trying something new. But it's very rough. The first level is quite good, but it just feels a little off, in the same way that Dark Souls feels off now. So it's definitely worth playing if you haven't played it before, and it will be interesting. But I think that the Souls games got better as they went on in most ways, and some of them did have some setbacks, but overall that there's improvement that you can see and feel in all of them, with the most arguable one from going from Dark Souls 1 to 2, but you have to talk about, okay, DLC, the feel of the game. Dark Souls 2 feels off to a lot of people, but then they go back and play Dark Souls 1 and you can only dodge in 4 directions. Well, how does that compare to Dark Souls 2? So it gets a little, that's probably the one that gets a little murky, but yeah. But that's coming from someone who does not give a single shit about the story and doesn't even think they have stories. So I have no idea how Demon Souls holds up in that regard. Sorry, I probably should have said that at the start. Yeah, I have no clue, absolutely no clue.
Next.
Yep.
As a fan of dragons, what's your favorite and least favorite dragon fights in the Souls games, and why? How much do you enjoy about them outside of the aesthetic of being dragons? This can include mini bosses like the Hellkite Dragon if you wish.
Hellkite Dragon's pretty bad. Hellkite Dragon isn't really a fight. It's just an event that you can kill if you really load up on damage, or if you know what you're doing. But you have to really know what you're doing. I think you'd have to even go look up stuff like what it's weak to. I think it doesn't have some light regeneration tied to it or something, or you have to do a certain amount of damage to it in a short amount of time, or else it just goes away. I can't remember. I just know I've killed that when I was really over leveled for it, and I just kind of randomly flailed after chopping off its tail. Yeah, I wouldn't even count that as a fight. That's just more of an encounter. I do not like Dragon God from Demon Souls, but I would say that is mostly a puzzle boss, and it's not really an actual fight. So I like it visually, and it's fun to fight against this big huge thing. But in terms of gameplay and how it feels to fight, it's kind of meh. It feels more like a really really bad Shadow of the Colossus encounter instead of a fight and against the dragon. Kind of crap, especially considering how good its introduction is. But then how are you really supposed to fight something that big? My favorite fight, dragon fight, is either Midir or Sin. Calamite would be number 3. I go back and forth on which one's better. As time has gone on, I think I'm considering Midir to be my favorite. I'm thinking back to it more favorably. Sin has a problem with flying up in the air and being gone for too long, but he's a dragon that has wings that work, so it makes sense thematically, and I really like the diving attacks that he does. They feel really really like epic, like you're like dodging at the last second. There's this big sweeping thing and he turns around and he topples all these pillars over. It's so fucking cool. I really really liked Sin. I killed Sin the first time I played the DLC. I died to Elena or Alana quite a bit. I'm not sure how many times I died, but I think it was getting close to double digits. And that's quite a lot of deaths the first time through on just like standard new game. And then I was getting a little frustrated with it, and then I beat her, and then I went into to fight Sin, and I think I killed Sin on my second try. And it was like barely killed Sin. It was like, holy shit, like I can't believe I did that. I was like, holy fuck. And I think I immediately just after I was done with the rest of it, I played the whole thing again just to fight him again, because that was such a cool fight, and I really enjoyed it the second time as well. There's just something really really great about that. But maybe one of the reasons why I like it so much is because of that frantic finish that was there. That was like, holy shit, it felt like I really struggled and I didn't deserve the victory, and I just kind of squeaked by it. It's like the end of the movie where it feels like you're not going to win, and then the good guys win after all. They just squeak by. So maybe that's why, because I think Midir is the more interesting fight. But Midir also will rampage around and go into periods where you can't really get close to him without taking damage, and you just have to stay away, and that's pretty much the exact same thing as the flying. Or he'll conjure his breath thing on the ground and you can't really get close to him, so you have to run away. Again, it's the same thing about flying. But yeah, outside of the aesthetic, I think, or outside of the fact that they're dragons, is there anything to like about them? I think so. Yeah, they're pretty good fights. I think that they're probably the best fights in the games that are not humanoids. There seems to be like two sets of bosses in Souls games that are going to be good, and it's the big kind of dragon type monsters, and then there is the humanoid duels, and anything that tries to be in between with that can be a bit crap. But humanoid can be a generous term, right? Like, is Flame Lurker a humanoid? Is that a duel? I think a lot of people might say yes, like that might be it, but some people might say no, it's more of a monster and it's somewhere in between. But like Bloodborne's dragon is Daughter of the Cosmos. What the fuck is her name? Erebrius. She has a name with cheese in it. Erebrius. That's what I consider to be the dragon of Bloodborne. But is Ludwig a dragon? I don't think so. Ludwig is probably the one of the exceptions that proves the rule, that bosses like Ludwig usually aren't that great in Souls games, and Ludwig is very 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 good. So yeah, I think that's where the dragon fights sit in Souls, but there aren't that many, are there? Most of the bosses are kind of humanoidy, or they're puzzly. I wonder if the Sentinel thing in the ship in Dark Souls 2 counts as a humanoid boss as well. The double-sided Sentinel thing. Can't remember what it's called. No, there's definitely something like about them. I like bosses that are humanoid duels, because it's sort of like your moveset is matched by theirs. You can understand how they move. You can immediately understand, like, okay, they're bracing for an attack, because that's what a person looks like when they brace for an attack. There's a lot of information that doesn't need to have time taken into it to communicate to the player how it works. It's all baked in, because everyone playing the game is presumably a human that knows all this stuff. So yeah, it fits. And why am I stuck? Isn't there a path here? I thought for sure there was a path here. That's weird. I thought for sure. Anyway, that has to all be conveyed to you in a monster kind of battle. There are quite a few of those encounters in Souls games that if it's not against a humanoid monster, that you have to basically introduce how it moves, communicate very clearly. Okay, this is what it looks like when it's about to do this attack, and sometimes they can all look the same. So for a boss to pull that off and to be foreign and something that you look at and you go, holy shit, how am I ever going to kill this thing? There's no way, it's so much bigger than me. It has a lot of has a lot to like. Yeah. So gets you out of your comfort zone and then you have to conquer it. Yeah. I like them. I think that the games need more of them, and also more enemies like that. A lot of the enemies are humanoids in Souls for the exact same reason, because it's just so much easier to communicate the required information in those encounters. It also means that you can reuse a lot of the same animations and the same kind of models as well. So you get to double dip there. So yeah, I think that it's special when a game pulls it off, for sure.
Just a small question also. I'm assuming you're finished with Danganronpa 2 by the time you read this. Did you enjoy the series? What would you say was your favorite case? All the best.
Favorite case was 2-5, for sure. Yep. I don't think anything else comes close to it. 2-5 was the best. It probably doesn't have the biggest emotional payoff of them. I think that the really good cases in the first game probably have more of an emotional payoff. I don't think any case in Danganronpa 2 had a good emotional payoff, but maybe I'm not remembering it well enough. But yeah, I don't think any case had a really good emotional payoff. But yeah, for sure, that's the best case. Overall, I'm very positive on it, and I'm getting a little tired of people telling me that I didn't like it, because I did like it. What was that sentence I just said sounded stupid, right? I'm getting tired of people telling me I didn't like it. No, I really, 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 really liked it, and I don't understand where people are coming from. It's like they can't even begin to comprehend that someone can like something but still be critical of it. And suddenly it makes a lot of comments that I get on YouTube videos make a lot more sense, because, you know, why are you shitting all over this game that you have titled almost a masterpiece? You know, like, it's good. It's really, 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 really good. Why do we have to just, you know, suck the game's dick, you know, forever? When we like something, why can't we also be critical of it? Yeah, there's a comment on the final stream on YouTube that I responded to today, because I'm being a shitter and I'm responding to some comments, and it's basically like accusing me of lying and saying that I clearly love Japanese games, and I need to, you know, stop being weebophobic. You know, that's my word. They didn't say weebophobic. That, you know, I'm using the weeb thing as a shield and lying to myself, and clearly I really enjoy these games, and you should just admit it, and don't be afraid to genuinely like what you like. And I'm reading it, I'm like, what are you talking about? I love this game. I thought it was great overall. Just because I didn't like just because I didn't like the end, you know, it's, so what, you know? I really don't understand it. I thought it was a joke, but it's not. It's not a joke at all. It's really not a joke. So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't know how to communicate any better than I currently am, that I really like the game. I think didn't I say at the end of the stream, you know, that I thought it was fantastic, and overall it was really, really good and had some strong moments, and I wish the ending was better. I don't know what to say. Sorry. I don't know what to say to these people. Maybe there is no getting through to them. Maybe that's how strong the fandom is, but that makes me sad that you can't get through to someone on something as simple as opinions on a game, you know, on a piece of media that you consume. How fucked as a species are we if you can't even properly communicate on something like that? You know, how are we ever going to solve big issues? Like, who's best girl? Like, how are we ever going to solve that, you know? Like, but yeah, I don't know. That was a quick question, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
keep going?
Yep, let's keep going.
Do I have anybody to thank before I lose it? Thank you to Homunk or Homunk who subscribed.
Thank you very much. What's the name?
Homunk or Homunk?
Homunk? I think it's Homunk. A tier 2 sub as well. Thank you so much, Homunk. Welcome to the tier 2 Rub-a-Dub sub club. Thank you so much.
And thank you to Near Death Experience.
As
in near.
Yeah. Near Death Experience.
You resubscribed for 9 months.
Thank you very much, Near Death Experience. I like your pun still, after all this time. Nearly 12 months. Mm-hmm. Yeah, get it?
Tuesday's Dusk says, Hi, Joe and Lily. Hope the stream are few and the children asleep.
Yeah. I don't know how many streams are going to be, but the kids are finally asleep. It took a while, unfortunately.
My questions are, Joe, what is your take on escape rooms? I have personally experienced them in real life with friends, and in some video games, for example, Danganronpa, I have immense trouble with them and find them to be extremely 9S shit.
That made me hiccup. Good job.
I'm somewhat of a puzzle enthusiast and play mostly puzzle games, yet find the logic behind all escape room puzzles I've encountered to be poor and that it's extremely specific to the way the person who designed the puzzle thinks. I have several theories as to why this is the case, but I'm interested in your opinion. I love Steven's Sausage Roll and your video on it, so I consider you a very capable puzzle solver, by the way, which is why I'm asking you. Maybe I'm just dumb in a specific way, so I would like to hear if you agree or not. Either way, please explain why you think so.
Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm fairly good at puzzle games as well. I think I struggle the most in puzzle games when I don't know the rules or I miss something simple early on about the rules. I think that's, because that's what all puzzle games really are, okay, what are the rules? How do I get the expected solution out of them? Also, not being told the solution is also where things can get a little bad too. But let's not get back into guesswork gate, which is another classic chat moment. Do you know the Canadian thing, a part of our heritage, used to come up?
Yeah.
That's what's for the stream. Part of our heritage, guesswork gate.
It's more.
Yeah. So let's look at this question two ways. The first one is connected to the riddle that Lily told me earlier, which is quote unquote riddle, and because I think that's a lot of what a lot of puzzles and stuff like that fall into. And that is, they're not riddles at all. It's just guess what I'm thinking, guess what fits. And you could tell someone the right answer and they'll say no, and because that's not the answer that they have, even if it does fit. Like remember the riddle that we had on stream about the girl that goes to school every morning and she takes the elevator. She lives on the 20th floor of the building, and every single morning she takes the elevator down to the ground floor. She goes to school, and then every single day when she comes home from school, she goes up to the 10th floor and then walks the stairs up the rest of the way. Why?
I don't remember this.
You don't remember it?
I remember it, but I don't remember the answer.
And you can have all these different answers, and I think the answer that the riddle teller wants is that, well, she's just so short that she can't reach the 20th button. And that's it, Well, it could be something else instead. She could be wanting more exercise. It could be a friend on the 10th floor, like who knows? It's all these different things. And that's not a riddle. It's like, oh, that's fun, that's fine. But that's not really a puzzle or a riddle in the same way that the one about you have a fox, a chicken, and some grain on the boat, and you need to get them over onto the other side, but you can only take one at a time. And if you leave the fox with the chicken will leave the chicken. If you leave the chicken with the chicken will leave the grain. Like, that has an answer. That's something to work through. That's a riddle / puzzle that actually, there's some, you have all the information, you can get through it. Whereas the other one is just guess what I'm thinking. And that's where problems come in with puzzles like that and quote unquote logic games. And I don't know if any puzzle room escape rooms have that. The only escape room I've ever done was on Danganronpa 2, and I don't think there was anything like that. The only part that I stumbled on was the end puzzle with the the binary / totally not binary thing at the end, and I am certain that if I had pen and paper down in front of me and I'd written them down, I would have seen, oh, okay, vertically, I can put it together like that, and I would have got it instantly. I also think it's not fair that the laptop was showing them in horizontally when you're supposed to be looking at it vertically. I really didn't like that, but I feel like that was intentionally misleading and intentionally cruel. But oh well, it's fine. It's not a big deal. The other problem of these kind of things that makes me not want to do the stream, because there'll be a lot of time just staring at something, was in that Danganronpa thing, and the game had to give you a hint in order to get through it, which was watch the news. So watch the news is a thing in puzzles that I don't like, because you need to have already encountered information outside of the puzzle in order to solve it. So watch the news is a fairly common way of saying north, east, southwest. News, northeast, southwest. Never eat shredded wheat is how I was taught it. So it's going to be a regional thing as well. Now that I know it, I think I actually have heard watch the news before, and I just forgotten it. But even after it told me in the game, I didn't remember it right away. I think I have heard that somewhere before. But if the game hadn't given me a hint, I would have been like, I have no idea what this is, and I would have to stare at it for a long time before I realized, oh, well, the thing on the floor shows the compass directions. So NEWS, okay, those are the directions. Like I would have gotten that, but it would have taken me longer than someone that knows that, and that would be kind of frustrating to watch. So this is the problem in the same way that people get really mad at you when you don't know something, and I hate it. I used to be this kind of person that was like that a lot. I even did it to Lily early on when we were first, when we were first dating. I would be a little bit obnoxious with her, and she's probably forgotten by now because she's just so sweet. Would be like, oh, I would tell her something and she would know it, and I'd be like, how do you not know that? Like how, and that's just such a shitty thing to say to somebody. How do you not know that? It's so fucking obnoxious. It's so like, so what's their crime? Is that they just haven't encountered that information before? Like, how are you supposed to know something that you don't know? Right? Like, it sounds stupid just saying it out loud. How are you supposed to, like, oh, I'm sorry, I've just never encountered that information before. There's a fairly decent, fairly old XKCD comic about it, which is, when you encounter someone who doesn't know something, you shouldn't treat them with disrespect and say, what the fuck, what's wrong with you? You should be like, oh, cool, I get to teach you something. And that's what I worry about doing those kind of situations, is that I'm going to run into a lot of that information, which is like, okay, well, I don't know that, and it's not a crime that I don't know that, but it's going to be quite frustrating. So that's my worry, and that's my concern. I don't know. It's hard to make a proper puzzle that has all the information right there for you to know that you can understand it, get to it, but also make it difficult enough that it's still a puzzle and it's still challenging. There's a problem with guesswork. Guesswork is not inherently bad. The problem with the guesswork debate, or the guesswork debacle, is probably the most the more accurate description by now. Was the point of that conversation was not to say this is guesswork, that means it's bad. It was, this is guesswork and chat disagreed, and it's like, okay, well, some people in chat, not all chat, and it wasn't a conversation of, oh, this was really shit because it was guesswork. It was like, how can you possibly disagree? I'm really curious how you can possibly think that, and that's what the conversation was about. And I think having guesswork in a situation like that can lead to a frustrating experience sometimes, but it's not always necessarily bad. But I think it will be bad on a stream. But the other part of the question you said was it's specific to the person who made it. So I don't know exactly what you mean by that, ironically. So does that mean that you're talking about what I just mentioned, which is, guess what I'm thinking? Like there is a solution, but it's not the one that I was thinking, therefore it's not valid? Or do you mean that it's specific to how someone thinks. And if you don't think the same way that they do, then you're going to be left out and you might not follow it quite well. If you watched a few of my streams, or maybe even some of the videos, but most of the streams, you'll probably have picked up by now that I have a kind of stilted way of talking sometimes that, especially on Discord, I will just cut out a lot of words, and, you know, I'll speak in half broken sentences sometimes, and that's just an example of communication that is fairly easy to adjust to, but it might be jarring at first. So or the speed at which I talk, or I've gotten a little better about that, but the speed at which I talk, you need to get used to that. Well, that's just communication. How about the way someone thinks and the way that they construct a problem? And you may look at it completely different, you know, and then there are translation issues as well. There are times during Danganronpa 1 and 2 where the game asks me a very straightforward question, and I think that there's a very straightforward answer, but it turns out that there isn't because they meant it in a different way, you know, like it asked if a character is what group does a character belong to? So without spoiling it, it was something along the lines of this person who works. This is a different. I'm changing it to a different example, so it's not going to fit the game. But this person who works, who sails around the world often. Do they work on a boat? Are they a sailor, or are they, you know, do they like cats? You know, so clearly, you know, one of them seems right. They're a sailor, but they also work on boats. That one's correct too. So which one do they want? Are they both valid, or do they want the actual terminology? But the question doesn't specify that. So which one does it want? And those kind of problems can become very frustrating when you're like, okay, well, this is technically correct, but you know, is it worded in a way that it wants one answer more than the other, you know? And you won't find out unless you go back and try every answer on everything, right, to see if it works, and that'd be a lot of work. So I'm saying work a lot, so I don't know. I really like puzzles as well. I'm with you there. And Steven Sausage Roll is one of the best game experiences I've ever had. You know, it was really, really satisfying, and there were moments like way more than The Witness, and The Witness was pretty good too, where it's like, holy shit, like, oh, that works, and oh yeah, I solved it, and you know, it's very simple and it only uses a few moving parts, and yet it really, really goes far with it. But when I think the problem is probably language. Like, as soon as you have language involved, or you have a lot of different moving parts, like, okay, well, I think that I should be able to use the screwdriver or the pliers to get the thing that's under the bed. Okay, well, the game isn't letting me. Okay, well, is the game not letting me because I'm using them wrong? Do I have to use something else? Is that part of the screen even interactable? Is it that I didn't select it properly in the menu? Like, there's so many different things with that. So I think what I'll end on is that the more moving parts you have and the more pieces of it that you introduce, the higher the chance of something being lost in translation, whether it's from another language or not. It just, you know, people are constantly translating the thoughts in their head into, you know, words that they're speaking. In my case, not that well at the moment. So that can get lost in translation, and the more chances of that happening, the higher incurrence rate of people getting frustrated and being left out. And I think maybe that's the heart of it. Even in games that aren't that focused on puzzles, you can run into this problem. In like a Zelda game or you know, Nintendo games especially, actually, looking back, there are moments where people get stuck because it's like, okay, well, what is it trying to communicate to me here? I have no idea, you know, even though it's very simple and you get the answer and you're like, oh, okay, but it's because things weren't laid out properly and there was too much to it, I think. I don't know. Kind of waffled a bit too much there, sorry. But yeah, that's why I'm a bit afraid of playing the Zero Escape games on stream, because I think we're gonna run into that often, and I don't want to have that frustrating experience. Was there another question from them? Getting
it's
tired?
Friday, right? I just realized I don't know what day it is. Is it Friday? It's Friday, right?
I think it's Friday. Let's see. It's Saturday now, but it was Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting tired.
Getting tired? Okay.
Lily, did your friend ever get around to ordering that 2B outfit? By the way, guys, sorry for my bad English. It's my 30th language. I'm a Novoselic court jester, and my Makango wouldn't sit still while I was writing about 2B.
We're how many levels of irony are we on with the sorry about my English now? This is the Q&A has its own memes. Kind of funny, huh? Makango. Oh, Danganronpa 2. No. Lee's friend did not get the outfit.
No, she didn't.
No. Not
but
yet.
But she still plans to.
Still plans to. Why did my inventory get messed up again? That's kind of weird. Did I hit a button somewhere? Or what? No 2B outfit yet. But my 9S outfit, pretty good.
You know, it's on my to-do list with, get a tattoo, get my belly button pierced, borrow my friend's 2B outfit.
I'd like to get a tattoo. I don't know where. I'd like to get a tattoo. 11037. Just on my arm. Always remember. There you go. It's Cat Girl next, right?
Yes. 420 Cat Girl says, "Hey Joe, sorry for my English. I switched teachers every year when I was learning it in school."
See, there you go.
I have 2 quick questions. First is, what is your take on parasocial relationships? In case you don't know, it's the weird relationship that viewers get when they frequent a stream. Does it get annoying when random people mention you on Discord, or do you welcome it?
Is it only about streams, or is it anything? I've heard of it before. Hold on. Let me Google it.
I believe it's for everything.
I think it's for anything, right? Parasocial. Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where one person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, their persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Parasocial relationships are most common with celebrities, organizations such as sports teams, or television stars. Okay, yeah, all right. So, quite familiar with it. Probably had a few myself in time. You feel like you know this person, and to a light degree. I got to experience the parasocial relationship becoming, I wouldn't say a relationship, just something that wasn't just completely one-sided anymore. When I got to talk to some people that I've been following their careers for a while. The weirdest one, even though it was a very, very, very light interaction, like I wouldn't even say it was an interaction, it was just acknowledgement from the person, was when Day 9 watched my Hollow Knight video. That was like, oh, holy shit, like that's just like wow, like I love Day 9, man. So yeah, that was very strange. I think overall that's the best way to describe them, is it's just strange. I think the knee-jerk reaction is to say that they're bad and that you shouldn't get into any parasocial relationships, and that in a way that is kind of crazy and isn't constructive in any way. But I don't think that's true. I think that it's only natural in our society that we end up with these sorts of things, and that celebrities and organizations, I shouldn't say organizations though, that celebrities and musicians, nowadays more streamers and YouTubers, but actual proper celebrities have kind of replaced royalty, right? Nobles that you used to always have to keep in mind the local nobility and who was higher than you, and who had a lot of control over your life. Celebrities do not have any control over your life now. At least I would argue that they don't. But if you were in a an older society that your life was effectively owned by the local nobility, and by extension the whole network of nobility and the king or whatever that was nearby, that you had to be aware of that, even though they had no idea who you were. But that's not how I would describe it being taken over now. It's just that there's a worship about it, that gossip, what's going on with this person, what's going on with that person, and that's kind of really heightened with celebrities. I don't get annoyed by the mentions on Discord. Being in a public light is very stressful. It's very 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 stressful, and I remember watching the Co-optional podcast years and years and years ago, and they were talking about the stress of being like public like that and having your whole life pretty much bare to everyone to just kind of move through in that way. And Jesse Cox said, I tell people all the time, they come up to me like, I want to be a YouTuber, like I like how do I get it? And he said, you don't want to be a YouTuber. He's like, you don't want this. And he said it with a laugh, but he meant it. Like he's like no, you really really don't want this. You don't. Trust me, you don't. Do something else. And I remember watching it, and I got a little mad at him, and I was like, and this predates me starting the channel by I think at least a year, maybe even 2. And I got mad because I was like who the fuck are you to say that? Like how fucking dare you say that? Who you're someone who's so successful and enjoys a life that a lot of people would kill for, and you're gonna sit there and tell people not to do it. And I was like, what the fuck? And now I completely agree with them. I completely agree with them. And it's not because it's so hard that it's like, oh my god, it's so crushing or anything like that. It's that I don't think most people could handle it. And that sounds arrogant, but imagine walking down the street and, every single day when you go out and you walk down the street, that every single person that you walk past says nothing to you, but out of every 50th person, or even if it just happens once a day, someone just runs up to you, gets in your face and says, you're fucking retard, I fucking hate you, I hate everything about you, you're an ugly stupid piece of shit, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And then they just run away. And that's it. That's the whole interaction. Now, just imagine that happening every single time you go outside. Every single time you go out for a walk, there's one person, and it's always a different person, comes up and says that to you. Most people are fine, but that happens to you. That's what it's like being an internet celebrity. You will constantly have this interaction, and the bigger you are, the more often it will happen. I remember around the 100,000 subscriber mark that I said to Lily, I don't think I'm being seen as a person anymore. I'm now an entity, and as an entity, people think that they can say whatever they want to me, and that there's not going to be any repercussions because of what I felt for Jesse Cox, which was that how fucking dare you think that? How fucking dare you say that? You're so lucky. You that is so shitty of you to say something like that. When you're standing at the peak of success and you're telling people not to try. Because that's how people feel about me likely now, and they can feel like, okay, well, I can say whatever I want to this guy because he's so successful and he's doing so well that who gives a shit? And to the most of the part, they're right, like it's like, who cares? You just brush it off. But again, imagine it happening every single time you go out. Imagine it happening as you get a little bigger. Now it's happening 2 times every single time you go out. Instead of out of every 100 people, it's out of every 50. Okay, now imagine you get even bigger. Now it's 1 out of every 25. That's how it is. When I open my messages on Discord, there's a high chance that it's just going to be a bunch of vitriol that is just, I fucking hate you. You're fucking stupid. I fucking hate you. Please don't have any more children. Or I got one on Twitter recently that is just like, just. You are a retarded fucking mongoloid. How dare you not like God of War? You're a piece of shit. All you do is talk out of your ass. Please go kill yourself. I'll even help you. Here's a Google link. Let me Google that for you. Here's how you kill yourself. Please go kill yourself. Please go kill yourself. Kill yourself. Kill yourself. Like it's just constant, And if you ignore that as best as you can, eventually it's gonna wear you down. And that's why I feel more sympathy to people who have that moment where they lash out at someone on Twitter They have a big following, and then it's retweeted. Someone says, you know what, go fuck yourself. And then there's all these people that are like, how dare you say that? You need to be better for your fans. I'm so disappointed in you for you saying that to somebody. How dare you? You're someone who has 100,000 followers on Twitter, and you just told this person who only has 100 followers to go fuck themselves. I've been following you for 28 years, even though you're only 25 years old, and I'm so disappointed. I can't believe you said. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's bad of them and they shouldn't do it, but holy shit, you don't understand. This isn't a reaction to just this one person. This is just the 5,000th time this has happened in the past 6 months, and this is just the one that they decided, you know what, I can't take it anymore. I need to let it out a little bit. And it's like, that's why I felt bad for the person who worked for what company was it? It was some MMO. Guild Wars, the Guild Wars thing that happened when the writer for Guild Wars had she had the Ask Me Anything, and someone tweeted at her, and it was so benign. It was like there was nothing wrong with this tweet, and she completely overreacted, and she really let him have it. Comparatively, it was really, really out of line, and I read it, and I'm like, wow. How many other shitty comments did she get over the past 2 months that this is the one that she had to react like that? And it's not excusing it, and she was wrong to do it, and it was nowhere near that bad. But even disagreeing with what she did, there was a part of me that was like, wow, like that must have been a really rough time for you. That's the one that you reacted to like that, because that's what it's like. So those are the ones that kind of wear you down over time. It's like death of a million paper cuts, of sometimes you just have to react to it. And that's where it gets bad, that's why Twitch is bad sometimes too. People say to me, you say something bad on Twitch that most people disagree with, or that I disagree with, and you have all these people agreeing with you in Twitch and reinforcing your viewpoint. And I say to them, or I just think, because usually I don't even respond, I think that's not my experience at all. When I say something that controversial on chat, during a stream that fans disagree with, I feel like it's like I'm getting next to zero support from chat, and it's just a non-stop kind of like, Joe, you're fucking stupid. Oh wow, you really don't understand this. Joe, you're fucking dumb. You're fucking stupid. Are you even paying attention? Joe, you're fucking dumb. I can't believe this. Oh, you nitpicky piece of shit. It's just that's how it feels to me, and I feel like I'm getting next to no support from chat. So I guess it shows you how your perception can be skewed, because they feel like their thing is under attack, and that they're being the kind of oppressed party in the conversation, and that I'm here lording over my own little castle with people supporting what I'm saying, whereas I'm on the other side and I'm like, holy shit, I said something that pissed chat off again. There's going to be a million comments about this, and usually when I go on YouTube, most of them are against what I said too. That's how it's been for Danganronpa too, at least. So that's where it gets worn down on Twitch chat side, is that it can be, even if you have the thickest skin in the world, if you hear something enough, you're gonna at least wonder a little bit. Like, that's how, not to get into politics, but I'm sure even Trump has responded, has read a lot of that criticism, and there's a little, because he's human, there's a little part of him that's like, oh wow, am I actually really that bad? Like really? There must be a little bit of him that is just like, oh wow, and that's at the highest level. The person who's getting probably the most hate in the entire fucking world right now is like it gets to you. Like, it doesn't really have a long-term effect. It does on some people, but that's why I would agree that most people probably aren't cut out for it, because it gets to a point where you can't really ignore it anymore, or you have to at least acknowledge it and then try and dismiss it. But the beauty of it is that most people, unfortunately, don't become so big that they'll attract these kind of comments overnight. But then you'll see it happen anyway when an online group decides to brigade someone on YouTube or Twitch or something. It's like, oh, look at this person, let's hate them, and then all of a sudden they will have internet celebrity level hate when they haven't gotten to internet celebrity level status. You know what I mean? They not only have they not gotten there yet, they haven't earned it. They're not enjoying any of the benefits But now they're getting all the hate, and they can't handle it because it's, they haven't, the frog hasn't been boiled. It's too much too quickly. I will say that in my experience, when that hate started happening, it wasn't worth it. It was all I could do. I had no choice but to continue because I had invested too much time and resources into it, and at the time it was our really only option to keep going forward financially. But I will say, at the time that I started attracting a lot of those comments, it wasn't worth it at all. And if I had a choice, I probably would have bailed. It wasn't worth it at all, not even a little bit. I'm glad I stuck with it because it was worth it long term, and you get used to it. But I think if you go back to earlier streams, or maybe even earlier videos or earlier comments that you see me reacting to, or your earlier tweets, or maybe it still will happen sometime in the future, you'll see that my personality and my outlook has changed over time, and I probably come across as a little more frosty, a little colder, and I think that happens to everyone. I think there's always going to be a turning point whenever you have a following and you have a lot of attention coming your way, that you are going to turn into, you're going to change into a different person. But anyway, sorry, to get back to it, does it bother me when people message me on Discord? No, but if someone messages me over and over and over, it's the same person that messages me multiple times a day, I will start to get annoyed and I just stop answering. And that usually that gets the hint, because it's better for the person to realize it themselves rather than just be told, hey, you're messaging me too much. You know what I mean? So it can get annoying. I think that overall parasocial relationships are not by definition unhealthy, but they can definitely be unhealthy. I don't think there's anyone that I've encountered interacting with somebody that I feel like they have an unhealthy relationship with me or with Lily, but I could be wrong. Maybe they're really good at hiding it or something. I will always say that you should always take whatever I say with a pinch of salt, and you should always doubt whatever I say, and you should always come to your own conclusions, and you should never ever blindly defend me about anything ever. If you think I'm wrong, you should tell me. You should be polite about it, but you should tell me, or you shouldn't just go along with it. And I don't know. I don't agree with the idea that a lot of people have said to me that king of your own little castle and everyone's here just to reinforce your opinions. I think that our community is actually pretty good on calling me out when they disagree with me, and not just the bad times when it's gotten a little rough with chat. When we disagree, I'm talking about in general. Like, I disagree with you on Darkest Dungeon, I disagree with you on Dark Souls, I disagree on this, that, and this. I think that we have a pretty healthy relationship going back and forth. Yeah, but if parasocial relationships can be kind of scary, don't you think, Lily?
Yeah.
If it does become one-sided, and you get stalkers and you get people that are really into it, which is why we will never reveal where we live. There has to be that level. I'm pretty sure the person that just drove by Dr. Disrespect's house and shot into his house has a parasocial relationship with Dr. Disrespect. I don't think you get to that level of hate without there being a little bit of love there first, at least. But maybe it's just a person that's just doing it for like a crazed person that's just doing it for attention, or they're out on drugs or something. I don't know.
But you don't know anybody anyway. It's...
Yeah.
They know so much about us because we do these Q&As and we talk to people on Discord and stuff like that. And it's not like when you were doing the videos now. There's a lot more interaction, whereas before you were just the guy reading from a script.
Yeah, that was a big change.
Removed.
And honestly, sometimes I regret it. Not just for how much stress it adds. Sometimes it also adds a lot of good stuff. I really like talking on Discord and I like doing it, but the other problem is that it takes up a lot of time, like a surprising amount of time. People said, oh well, you started streaming and video productivity went down, and overall that's true. It did go down, but I have to play games. I wasn't spending nearly as much time playing games as I should have been before we started streaming, and I could justify the time. But the other thing is that streaming started around the same time that Discord was founded, and Discord takes up a lot of my time too. It may not seem like it, but even if it's an hour every single day, and it's usually more than that, but an hour every single day is 20 at least 28 hours a month, right? So that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time, and it's usually more than that. Now I can multitask and I can do different things all at once, but like that makes it more stressful for me, and it's just adding on to it. Yeah, that's quite a lot of time. Yeah.
It's been weird to get used to, especially when you go on Discord and people are talking about you, and were like you're scrolling and an hour ago or whatever.
And you weren't even there, and they were talking about you.
I wasn't there.
They do it with you now too, right?
Sorry.
They do it with you now too, right?
They do it with me now too, and I actually had somebody not that long ago remind me, and the word parasocial came up, that there are parasocial relationships apparently involving me now on Discord. And I was not aware of this because I go on and I try to keep the community together, and I try to be professional and welcoming to everybody who's joining, and I'm in mental health and I'm trying to help as many people as I can, and I have all these people messaging me now that weren't messaging me before, mostly related to mental health, but not always. I'm getting a lot of writing questions and stuff lately too. And sometimes it's fine and it's like you don't hear from them that often, but I am getting people messaging me every day now. And I'll come back to the computer and I'll have 10 messages of where are you? Where are you? Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? Can I talk to you? And sometimes it's a bit much, and I'm not the one making the videos and I'm not the one doing the stream. So I can only imagine what it's like that you're getting.
I think at the point though that you're talking to it, it's not a parasocial relationship anymore. Or I'm not sure about that actually. I don't think that's the case. I don't know. Once it becomes...
But I talk to lots of people on there, and you talk to lots of people too, and that's what I'm saying. How do you know what these people really think? I'm trying to be polite, and I'm talking to people, and I'm trying to be helpful and useful and everything, but I don't really know these people. And Useful, yeah. I don't really know these people, and coming back to that many messages and stuff like that, it can be a little bit overwhelming sometimes. And seeing people talking about us when we're not even there and stuff, it's not a bad thing, but it takes a little bit of getting used to, and it's, again, they know so much about us that sometimes the topics are quite personal. It's not all video game. When we moved, there were whole discussions about where we moved and how far from Toronto we were and how would you get there, and, like this kind of, about the kids and stuff too, so it's, I had someone tell me that I should be more aware of parasocial relationships,
but how could you though? How can you control it?
I can't control it, but to be aware that it's happening apparently, and I guess things have been said maybe, and it's not just the Discord. There are all these spin-off Discords now too that come out of your Discord.
Spin-off Discords?
Yeah, there's spin-offs, and there's people that have joined, made other Discords. So there's another Discord dedicated just for people who don't want to bring up shit in our Discord, so they go to this other Discord and discuss problems they're having. Like, it's gotten bigger than just your Discord, so they're off in the other Discord sometimes talking, and we don't know what they're saying over there either, right? But I had someone give me a heads up saying you should be aware that, and that's why I was amused when I first saw Catgirl's question, because I had just heard this term that I'd never heard before. I had to Google it before too, that these things are happening now, and there are people. You go on there, and how many people jump to talk to you, and there's this little voice in the back of my head now going, well, do they really want to talk to me because they like me and they think I'm nice and they want to talk to me, or are they talking to me because they want information about you, or are they talking to me because I'm your wife, like...
I feel like that happens less to me now. Maybe the novelty is worn off, or I don't know. I don't know how many regulars we actually have on the Discord. It's almost 7,000 members, I think, but I don't know how many regulars we have. I feel like that happens less now when it's like, oh, I want to talk to him, but it does happen sometimes, yeah. Or notice me senpai, that thing, yeah. I don't see how you can control it. I don't see how you can be aware of it, but I don't know what you could do to combat it in any way. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I don't know. So then
Someone says,
here.
and it's related, so isn't the whole parasocial thing entirely dependent on how you treat your unknown fan base? With the rise of instant communication as a supplement to videos and live streams, you, the creator, can now choose to engage more intimately with your viewers. At some point, if you decide they're your actual friends, is it still parasocial? I don't think if they're your friends, then it's parasocial. But these people, we try to keep a barrier still between, we can be friendly.
Well, you keep barriers with anyone, even if you know them in real life, right? So that's what I mean. Is it still parasocial if you get at the point where you message someone and they message you back? Is that parasocial? I would say yes, it is, because just a passing kind of thing isn't enough. But if it's like, if you're speaking to someone through DMs like fairly regularly, there are people on Discord that I speak to at least a few times every single week. Catgirl, I speak to Catgirl, right? I don't think Catgirl has a parasocial relationship with me. I feel like that's like an online friendship. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. And I think at that point, it changes. But I don't know where the cutoff is. I still don't know what that, if there are any ramifications for that. I have no fucking clue. But I think it gets a little more complicated when you have just a passing comment rather than a regular interaction. Regular interaction can probably make things worse, but I think for most people it'll be like, oh wow, this person is just a person. The whole. I think a lot of people have some shock when they come on the streams after watching the videos, because they're expecting me to be just like I am in the videos, and they're not. And I think that's enough to kind of shake people out of the, oh shit, you know what I mean? But for people that aren't like that or the same, or when they talk to you, because you're a lot more similar on Discord than you are on the streams. There are two Joes really. There's Stream Joe and Video Joe, and Prison Joe. But there's only one Lily, so maybe when they talk to you, it can make it worse, because they're like, oh, it's like making it the fires of the parasocial relationship.
See, and I thought it was the opposite. And that's why I was so shocked when this person said that to me, because I was like, well, with me, I'm just here trying to make everybody feel included, and
yeah.
And I'm here every day. I check in every day, and I'm around. I'm not there all the time, but like. I talk more on Discord than you do. Therefore, I should be smaller potatoes. You know what I mean? And I should be not that exciting because I'm here more. So people talk to me, and I answer all my
but
messages.
I think most people are gonna feel more grounded when they speak to you. They're gonna be like, oh, okay, just a person has the same kind of likes. The first time they see you make a spelling mistake, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, just a person. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people, Stardew Valley, a lot of people were relieved when Eric Barone said, I made this game by myself, but it wasn't balls to the wall every single day, every single time I made it. I'm still a person. I still took breaks. I still got fed up as I was making it. And I think that can ground some people. For most people, that's going to be enough. But for others, a little passing comment might make it worse. Or interaction might be, oh, more interested. You know what I mean? It might. But that's getting more into obsession. I don't think that's parasocial. I don't know. Maybe I don't have enough information. We're talking about this too much. Sorry. Let's move on. Let's move on. Sorry. Let's spawn some good discussion, though. Thank you, Catgirl.
She has one more question. Have you ever felt like cutting schedule and playing Danganronpa 2 after Danganronpa 1 finished quicker than 2 months? Are you feeling the same way breaking schedule for Danganronpa V3? Oh, last note about the stream art museum. Can you make a rule guideline so that people have to post the name of the game stream that the fan art is of? In the future, you're going to have tons of games, and it's going to be a nightmare to sort through if it's just a long, unsorted list. So something about Best Girl Chiaki would be tagged Danganronpa 2. Thanks for hearing me out.
Like a cat, right?
Meow.
I think that if that isn't a rule, it should be, yeah, for sure. It should be like what stream this is from. I can say that next time we have a proper stream, or I can make a rule in the stream museum thing. I don't know if that chat is even necessary anymore now that we're putting everything, all the stuff on the stream as it's going. Yeah, I don't know, but I think we'll have to change how it goes on screen anyway. I think we're gonna have to change it to if it's actual fan art that someone drew, like it's something they created, then we'll show it after break or at the time that it happens, because it's pretty rare that someone actually draws something. But the stream memes that people do, I think we're gonna have to start either putting them, after break or at the end of the stream, because there's quite a lot of them now. Ever since we started putting them on the screen, I think a lot of people are motivated, and rightfully so. Like, oh, I get to say it, I get to make this thing, and it goes up on the stream, and everyone gets to see it. That's neat. I would be motivated to do that if I was in that position, but it is taking up quite a lot of time, and I want the streams to move fairly quickly along with the game. I would hate for the stream to get like no shade thrown at this guy because he has a big following and he must be doing something right to have that big following, but I personally just don't like his streams for this reason, even though he seems like a cool dude. The man versus game guy, I can't watch his streams because I feel like it's 80% responding to messages and chat and look at this, look at that, look up this, look at that, and 20% playing the game. I don't like that. I want to watch streams for the person that is streaming, but I also want to watch it for the game, both. And my rule for creating anything, for books, for videos, for anything that I create, is that I need to be my own audience. Would I enjoy it? And I would enjoy that. So I don't want to be that kind of streamer. So that's what I want to avoid. So I think we're going to make some changes to that end. The other question was, do I ever feel like I want to skip order? Oh, for sure. Yeah, the amount of games that we have queued right now is very frustrating to me. Same with projects on YouTube. I feel like there's way too much in my head, and it's actually starting to sorry to be melodramatic, but it's kind of affecting my mental health a little bit. Lily's quite worried about me. She's more than she's letting on. That there's just too much. Where we have to play this game, it's play the David Cage games and the Halloween games, and we also have to play Ultra Despair Girls and watch the anime, and then V3, and then Yazuka Zero, and then Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines featuring Dante from the Devil May Cry series, and also we have to play Catherine when it comes out, and Ace Attorney, and then there's the new voting poll, and then you have to make these videos, and then the Witcher video, and it's just so much. And when you're making the Nier Automata video, when you're making this video, when you're making that video, and it's just crazy. It's just way too much. So my plan is to just do everything fairly calmly at a reasonable rate over the next few months, and just make everything clear the schedule, let some projects go if I need to, and then just settle down a little bit. My guess is that after the Witcher video is up, I'm going to be taking a break. I'll probably, if I want to stream, I'll probably stream just one event game that month, or for 2 months. And I'll queue up some small videos, or I'll just have highlights going up on the main channel for a month or two, and I'm going to take a break after that's done, because I think I need it. But that's what I'm holding out for right now. I love streaming and I love making the videos, but when there's so much in front of me, it's like, holy shit, how am I getting this done? Like, there's just way too much. But yeah, I do want to skip, because I want to play something that's more fun. And what I'm really more interested in doing right now, which is finishing Danganronpa. If it was in October, I'd be tempted to say, hey, we're gonna watch the anime, we're gonna play Ultra Despair Girls, and we're going to play V3, and then we're gonna start off with the rest of the games because I want to get it done. But the problem is that we said for over the past year, hey, Halloween we're gonna play a bunch of spooky games, and I was looking forward to that before I realized we were gonna be into Danganronpa right now. So we'll do the spooky games, and I'm looking forward to playing Until Dawn and Silent Hill 1 and 2 and Alien Isolation. Not sure so much about the other ones that are on there, but those are the three that I'm looking forward the most to playing. And then we'll get through it, and then we'll probably maybe play Ultra Despair Girls, watch the anime, play V3, and then we'll start working through the other games that we promised. And then once the schedule's clear, we'll play some small ones for a little bit, and that'll probably be around when Witcher is about done, and then we'll take a break, I think. But yeah, I am tempted often to skip, but this is the last thing I'll say, because it links back to your first question. When you get to this position, you're not really in charge anymore. You kind of, you're beholden to your audience a bit, and maybe that's something that I need to let go. And there's going to be a rough period. Like I've already said it on Patreon and Twitter. I'm not crunching a video out ever again. It's not happening. So video production has so far benefited from an intense period of crunch at the end of it, which makes me work like double, triple time that I usually do, which means that long video production is actually going to be a lot slower now, and I think there's going to be some fallout on Patreon because of that. That a lot of people are going to be like, oh, you're not doing as much work anymore, fuck you, but I just can't do it anymore, man. I just really can't do it. So I think that there's gonna be some backlash, and maybe this is something else I need to learn too, that I shouldn't be beholden to my audience. But at the same time, if I say I'm going to do something, or if I make a promise, I should keep it. That's not beholden to your audience. That's you saying something and you should deliver, right? So we'll see. But I expect Patreon is going to drop down by probably a quarter of its amount over the next few months, unless people really take to the shorter videos and the highlights. But I don't know. That'll be interesting to see. Like, because I thought it was pretty clear when I made the Lion and the Witcher in the Patreon video that I'm very capable of having a video out every single week. Easy, 10, maybe even 20 minutes every single week. There could be a new video on the channel if I could break up the videos that I've already made into 20-minute chunks like other people do, or I break those topics into 20-minute chunks like I always do. Easy 20 minutes every single week. If I did that with the content that we have, I don't even think we'd be done Zelda. Like we would still not be there. That's the level of content that, like, the pace would be awful, but people might accept that more, because it's not about the amount of video content that's created. It's all about the frequency at which you get the hey new upload button, right, or notification. So it's like human psychology. So I'm curious to see if people are going to be happier with the lower amount of work because the video is going to be somewhat regular. That would be pretty disheartening, because it means I did all this for no reason. I could have just split them up. But again, like I said, I make things primarily for myself. I'm my own audience. So if I wouldn't like things to be split up like that, I'm not going to do it, because it wouldn't be good. And I would prefer it in a different way, even if that isn't really the most efficient way to do it. Anyway.
But you're not saying, that you're not going to deliver the promises that you made. You're just saying you're not going to deliver them in as timely a manner as you would.
Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, I think there's an expectation of it's going to be done soon. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe my outlook is flawed, and I need to look at that again. I don't know. Oh, stretch. Let's look at notifications, and then we'll probably take one more person from Patreon, and maybe a couple from chat right now, and then bedtime. Quality over quantity, someone in chat says. I agree. I definitely agree about quality over quantity. The problem is that a lot of people on Patreon don't agree, and that's the main source of income that we have. And there are plans that we have going forward that are dependent on the level of income that we're on right now staying somewhat level. We have plans in place that it doesn't have to be that. We have contingency plans and safety nets, but there are many people on Patreon that disagree with quality over quantity. During this drought, when we moved, I got a lot of messages from people who previously were very supportive of the channel, people that even said, hey, quality over quantity, take your time, who then messaged me and said, you're a lazy piece of shit, what the fuck, where's the video, I can't believe that you're not taking this seriously anymore, like just really, really harsh messages, because I guess they think that because they gave some amount of money at some point in the past that they're allowed to just let me have it, because I had someone say, we're your boss, because I gave you money, I'm effectively your boss, and if this was a real job, you'd be fired. I mean? Like people don't understand the amount of work that can go into these videos and how long it takes to produce something of that length and that complexity. And for many people, Patreon supporters included, the pace at which Fallout 4 1 year later was made, which was, sorry, the first Fallout 4 video, not 1 year later, the pace at which the first Fallout 4 video was made, that, you know, the same month that it came out, and, you know, to the point that I don't remember that month. Not just making the video, I don't remember the month. I don't remember the month of November 2015. Is like, that's the standard. Well, the fastest you ever produced a video becomes the expectation that everyone has for you, and that's just not healthy, you know. And maybe that's a mistake long term. And if anyone is starting a new channel out, I would you know, say, hey, you probably don't want to go as hard as you possibly can, because that'll be the new normal and people will expect it. But at the same time, because we went that hard, the channel grew as fast as it did, and we are here where we are now. So if I went back in time, I wouldn't change it. I would still do the same thing I did last time, because that was the best decision for you know, me and my family. So like, I wouldn't do something different. But you have to deal with the expectation now, and there's going to be problems from it. I couldn't believe the things that people were telling me, you know, right in the next message too, you know, like the message system that you have on there shows their last message, because that's the last message that said, oh, you know, I love your content, please take your time, you know, you never feel like you quality over quantity, never feel rushed, you know, we're all here for you. And then the next message, you know, I'm dropping my pledge, you lazy piece of shit, all you want to do is stream and you're not doing any work or anything like that, and like, how dare you? It's like, well, what the hell, you know, like, that's why I've said in the past Q&As, and Lily will agree with it, long-term goal is to drop the Patreon, like as soon as we can, you know, or have a message on the Patreon saying, hey, this Patreon is now for people who just want to have a way to support any future thing that we do, with no guarantee of any future content. Really, there's not going to be a future rate, there's not going to be anything like that. It's just here as a, hey, I'm someone who watches your videos, maybe I watch with ad block, and I want to be able to give you a little bit of money every single month, as a thank you for the continued project of whatever you do, you know, that sort of thing. That's the long-term goal, because
so much pressure.
When you have the Patreon, it's a lot of pressure to be living up to that, especially when you have a Patreon like mine, which is one of the higher ones, you know. It's so much like, okay, I need to have that content out, and some people don't get that. It's pretty disheartening. TBH.
Well, it kind of goes with what you said before too about, I kind of just lost my train of thought, about how people don't see you as a person, you know, and how people see you as an entity.
Yeah.
And how people don't see every day, you know, when you're working on a project like that. The weird hours you pull, and also that the life happens, shit happens, you know. Okay, we didn't move in the most efficient way that we could have moved. Okay, like we fucked up.
I don't know. Like, or what if I get sick? What if I'm feeling like?
Well, I was sick a few days ago. Right?
Yeah,
and
or
I messed things up.
Or
and
what
then
if
you get sick? You mess. What if the kids get sick? They mess things up. What if you didn't sleep? You know, what if I'm bipolar and I have a depressive?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, what if you're manic, or what if you're depressed, or, you know. Like I don't think people have a right to have that, but if you to know that, but if you put up a message, you know, not without any details, people are like, well, what's going on? I have a right to know. Like I don't know. Like, have we said this before? Enough time has passed. What happened during The Last of Us and the Uncharted video?
You can talk. I mentioned it on Discord already. I spoke about it.
Lily had a miscarriage during if you go back on Twitter and you look at when the Uncharted and Last of Us video was being produced, there's a tweet that I did. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to. It's gonna be a couple weeks late, you know, because something's come up. Sorry, and some people were like, "Well, this is unacceptable. Like, I need to have more information. You know, I need to know what's going on." But like, I don't think people have any right to know that, you know.
Nobody knew I was pregnant. Like, our families
Lily
didn't
had a
know
miscarriage.
that I was pregnant.
You
Our
know,
families didn't even know I had miscarried. You know, like, it was
like during that
something you advertised.
Please do not take that as It was very, very, very early on in the pregnancy. This is when we're trying to get pregnant with what turned out to be Leo, not Leon though. It was very, very, very early on. But like, and I'm not saying like it was like a while ago now. And I'm just saying as an example of, you know, stuff like that happens. And because the job is public, should I go on Twitter and say, hey, announcement, everybody, this is just how do you communicate that, hey, something's happened, we need time, without it being, oh, you're just being lazy or you're not working. And then there's people like, there's a comment on the God of War video that's basically like, you thank everyone for the support so much at the end of this video that you were able to move and get a house, and you rewarded them with 3 months of no content on the channel. And it's like, motherfucker, what do you think I was doing? I'm at the same time, I'm annoyed, but I'm also flattered that there are people out there that think I made a 3-hour video in, what does he think I made it in 3 days? Like I don't. What's going on in this person's head, apart from, unless they're a troll that's just like, you know what, fuck this guy, I just want to insult him. But like, do you really think that video was done like over, like, oh, I feel like making a video, like no, what do you
Well, that's what I'm saying. They don't see how many times you play the games. They don't see, you know, you're getting the footage. They don't see the script, how long you have to think about it. You have to gather all your notes. You have to actually write it. We have to edit it. You have to record it. You have to edit it. You have to gather the footage. You have to edit it, put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not like you can't work every minute of every day either. You know, you have other responsibilities here. If you had a job and you went to work every day, you would still come home and have other responsibilities, you know, and things get in the way. And again, you have a sleep disorder, I have a mental illness, that sometimes pushes things back. You know, I'm not going to lie.
I'm surprised it hasn't gotten in the way more often than it has.
There have been many times you've been working or streaming and I've been up here in tears, or, you know, and you try to not on those days, but like sometimes there's a previous commitment and you haven't slept, and I'm depressed, and what are we going to say? Oh, sorry, Lily's depressed again, we can't have a stream.
And that's why I want to say that example. It's like, you can't, like, there's no right to that information, right? That's why I don't know. But I feel like even if you like, I feel like we shouldn't be talking about this, because I feel like some people are going to take it the wrong way, especially considering this is the Patreon Q&A, for fuck's sake. But even when you try and explain this to people, sometimes you'll get criticism for that. You know, there's a post on the Patreon page that someone went on this long tirade of like, oh, well, what the hell are you even using this money for? You obviously haven't been working, and all you do is stream and all this shit, when the God of War video is taking longer than we thought. And then I respond to that, because that was my moment of, okay, you know what, I can't take this anymore, it's happened enough, I need to vent it out a little bit. And then you get criticized for the response. You know, you get, and now suddenly it's like, well, you shouldn't have responded in this way, I can't believe you did this, or, you know, this was in bad taste, you shouldn't be saying stuff like this. And it's like, well, you can't win, you know what I mean? It's better not to say anything. But then you think, okay, well, is this just sitting there and everyone's just agreeing with it? Like, I don't know. That's why again, like, we shouldn't go on about it. But the Patreon adds so much stress to it's not a simple, you know, like, hey, you make the content, here it is, you know? Like, it's not like that at all. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, we shouldn't talk about it. We shouldn't talk about it. Sorry. Lily and I went on a little journey there, and you guys got to be the witnesses to it. Are there any messages that we missed on the other laptop?
I think it turned off. Oh, no, it didn't. Thank you to Klinger, who subscribed.
Thank you, Claire.
Thank you to...
Welcome to the Real Talk Late Night stream.
I think it's letters. ZRKZK.
Where? Oh, ZRKZK. Okay, thank you very much. Zerkzik?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, Taco Waveable. Taco Waveable, you've subscribed before. Is our list broken? Every single time I think about that, I think about putting a taco in the microwave. Every single time I see Taco Waveable.
That's a good thing. Thank you for that.
Thank you,
Thank you
Taco
for putting
Waveable.
that thought in my head.
Thank you very much. I don't
We're
know
having
if my
burrito and taco tomorrow.
I don't know if my list is bugged out or your sub ran out, but either way, thank you very much for the sub or welcome back. Thank you so much.
Thank you to I am 999 who used 100 bits and says, since you seem to love riddles so much, I have one.
Shit. Okay, let me read it as you're reading it out loud. Okay.
I have a name, but it isn't my name. My face shows signs of age, and I always mean the same thing, no matter what I say. I'm born in the morning. I last till the end of days. Men plant me, but I never grow. Run from me, but I never move. Look at me to see their future and rot in the fields where I bloom. What am I? The answer is in the song Crow on the Riddle by B. Dolan.
That sounds like a riddle that's the answer's time, but I don't think that is it. I don't know the answer to that one. Crow on the Riddle by B. Dolan. Crow on the Riddle by B. Dolan. That is a interesting art there. We do not have the lyrics for Crow on the Riddle yet. Great. Thanks, website. Thank you for that. Thank you. Okay. I'm not seeing it. What's the answer?
What's the answer?
So we all know for chat. What's the answer? Reflection? Is it time? Well, people know where to find it, so maybe we shouldn't spoil it on chat. Action Caterer used some bits to say, as I was playing and watched you stream Danganronpa 1 and 2, I was imagining how good a TV show it would make, like if it was on Netflix, where you release 2 episodes, one where the characters try to enjoy life, then murder is the cliffhanger, then an episode investigating the case, and the 3rd episode is released the next week. So people would have enough time to, as a community, try to solve the case on their own before the reveal. That would be interesting. I think, unfortunately, everyone would solve it in between, and it would kind of spoil it. But that would be interesting. Yeah, that sounds like a cool idea.
Do you want to know the answer?
Yeah, what's the answer?
Tombstone.
Tombstone.
I have a name, but it isn't my name. My face shows signs of age, and I always mean the same thing no matter what I say. I'm born in the morning. I last till the end of days. Men plant me, but I never grow. Run from me, but I never move. Look at me to see their future and rot around the fields where I bloom.
Okay, that
I like it.
I like it, but that's kind of like guess what I'm thinking again. That's it's pretty good. I like those types of riddles though. That what am I? I do like that. Thank you, Spooksy, for the new Summer Prime. Welcome to Primetime, Spooksy.
Okay.
Pretty fitting time for Spooksy, right?
Very fitting time.
It feels way more like fall here than it would anywhere else.
The tree across the street is all red, and the leaves and the tree that we have are really coming down. We should get a rake.
Yeah, we should get a rake. I think we have one. Sick Tricks Bro has subscribed, not for the first time. I know Sick Tricks Bro. Oh, and then use some bits to say, 400 bits to say, I lost my sub streak, fail fish. I'm sorry, Sick Tricks Bro. Welcome back to Primetime. Welcome back to the Dragon's Den. Thank you, Sick Tricks Bro. Sorry that it ran out. Just like the laptop screen just ran out. And thank you, HellPuppy95, for the 5-month resub. What? Oh, is me or other Twitch subs or donators literally paying you to give us attention a parasocial relationship, or just capitalism? No nefarious implications meant?
I think so.
I think so. I don't know. I definitely think that some people take advantage of that, and you have I think it's easy to say it's like what cam girls do, and you have followings on Twitch of very pretty girls that tease their audience and will interact with them and kind of like, oh, let's hang out with the really pretty girl. But I'm sure guys do it too. You know, like it happens. You know, people get wrapped up in a community like that, and it can get unhealthy. But I don't know, where do you draw the line? What's just having fun, and what's, you know, you're addicted, or you are like so wrapped up in it that you can't stay away, and you're becoming invested in this person. But then there's also the community side of it too, right? Maybe you're not there for the person. Maybe you're just there for the community that surrounds them. I'm pretty sure that there are I'm certain there are a lot of people that follow me that don't like me, and they're here because originally they liked it when I made a mistake, or they like to make fun of me or anything like that. But some of them might be here because they genuinely enjoy the community now, that they might like, they might be sitting here right now, probably not right now because this isn't one of the streams that we get people like that. But, oh no, I'm losing chat. All right, rip chat. Chat's gone. My little tablet thing for chat just ran out. But they for streams that we play the big games, they might be here like genuinely enjoying themselves, not just because of me. You know, like, oh, he's fucking talking again. Shut the fuck up. I'm just here for chat. You know, like that could definitely happen. I could see that happening for sure. And that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Ralph Logs, for 50 bits. Promises are like babies, easy to make, hard to deliver.
I like that a lot.
Damn, Ralph Logs. Ralph Logs dropping some knowledge there.
He's on the ball.
Ralph Logs, you know, if you combine puns with wisdom, you become like a philosopher, right?
Interesting.
Oscar Wilde was very wise, but also very punny. Same with Confucius. Confucius used to say, man who fishes in another man's well catches only crabs.
Yeah, he does.
Man who keeps his hand in his pocket feels cocky all day.
No, the crab's almost better.
Is chat laughing?
Yeah. Dr. Legs is here.
Hey, Dr. Legs. Hey, Owie. Thank you to... oh, wow. BWUAQ Black for some bits, and now I'm your boss. Oh shit, boss, I'm sorry.
Like chicken, right?
Bwak, sorry, I'm slacking off at work. Bagel Addict used 100 bits to say, I'm also your boss. I have so many bosses. At least all my bosses are Chads and Stacy's, right? That's pretty good. Bagel Addict is also gifted a sub to Bwak. Is that a promotion then?
Yes.
Bits to sub, it's a promotion. Welcome, Bwak. Welcome to the Dragon's Den. Thank you, Daddy Bacon TV, for the new sub. Welcome to the Rub-a-Dub Sub Club, Daddy Bacon TV. Thank you, Jishi Joshi, finally said it right first time, for the 12-month resub. That's 11 times.
It took you a year.
Took 12 attempts for me to finally get it right on the first time. Can I do it again? Jishi Joshi. No, I didn't. Shit.
I hope you're here and you heard that, because that might be it.
That might be the only time I ever get it right the first time. Thank you, Keegan Loses, for the 100 bits. For my startup advertising strategy, we'll be cheering in bits with random streamers. Use promo code JBH for 10% off your first order.
How generous.
Actually, would that be legal? Could you do that? If you have text to speech on, or it shows up on the screen, is that legal? I'm curious. I don't know if it would be legal or not. And thank you, He-Hoken, for some bits and say go to bed, Joe. We're about to go to bed, but let's take one or two questions from chat and the next Patreon, and then we'll go to bed. I don't have chat anymore, sorry, so I can't say anything. So
I can see you, though.
I'm flying blind right now.
Have you played Spore?
No.
500 bits, just keep up the great work, and even though it's near impossible to not be worried about something, I hope you still end up enjoying what you do at the end of the day.
Oh, I really do. I love my job, and that's where it comes back to what I said about, you know, Jesse Cox said, you know, and I was like, how dare you have such a great job and you're on top of it. Like, I wouldn't trade it in. Now that we're this far in, there was a moment at some point where I thought, okay, this isn't worth it, but I wouldn't trade it in. I doubt he would either. You know, once you're into it, but you know, to recommend someone start is not as easy as you might think, even if you know they're gonna hit success with it. For sure. Thank you so much for the bits.
You know, everything can become work, right? You can love your job and you can be really good at it and be really passionate about it. But at some point every day, you're not going to want to do it. You know, for right, like for writing, for any kind of.
What was that meme that
passionate.
What was that meme that was being passed around?
And Ralph Plug says 50 bits. He who laughs last did not get joke. Good one.
That's really good. That's really good. There's a saying, choose a job you love and you'll never have to work a day in your life. And someone recently on Twitter took that meme and scrubbed it out and said, choose a job you love and you will spend every single day of your life panicking that you're not doing enough, become completely obsessive, work way too many hours and completely lose yourself to it. And then that's kind of what it is, because it's not, there's choose a job you love and it's a traditional job, and that's fine because you have set work hours. Whereas if you do it from home and if there's an unlimited amount of work and there's an unlimited amount of hours that you can pour into work, it's really hard to say stop. And especially when people are say go for it, and there's demand that's there. But anyway,
someone says having your hobby become your job is the best way to lose your favorite hobby.
Yeah.
And there was another, hold on. Action Caterer used 10 bits and says, where is the wire, Joe? Where is it? Tell me. I've wanted to know this for a while.
The Wire?
I remember a while back you said you'd be interested in making a podcast, and now you've probably overwhelmed.
Sorry, hold on. So you talking about the Dark Souls of TV shows? The Wire? Anyway, sorry, is this from chat?
Yeah.
Podcast? Okay.
Remember a while back you said you'd be interested in making a podcast. I know you're probably overwhelmed with work at the moment, but are you still planning on making a podcast?
Planning is too generous a word for what I want to do about a podcast. Would I like to have a podcast? Yes. Are there any plans or anything that's being in place? No. I don't even know who I would have on it, or if it would be a one-man podcast, but that's kind of lame. I haven't spoken to him about it yet, and maybe I shouldn't even say this on stream because I haven't spoken to him about it yet, but I would actually be very interested in doing a weekly podcast with Mandalore. But Mandalore just recently got through his version of moving, which is, you know, hats off to him for getting through it, and you know, he just released a video after coming through that hell. But yeah, I think that I would enjoy that quite a bit, but I would want to talk to any potential regular guests often on, or a permanent person, you know, partner that's on it with me. I would want to talk to them a bit on voice chat for a while, because I want to make sure that we get along well enough to have the podcast work, you know. And I don't know if there's anybody, because I'm kind of a dick. Like maybe you haven't, you know, learned that about me yet, but I do better on my own, or someone that I know quite well, like Lily Bell. So I don't know if it would work all that well, but yeah, that's what I think right now.
And we already have our podcast. It's called Q&As.
Yep.
So.
This is our podcast. Welcome to the podcast. We like fun and games.
Depression and Star Wars. And occasionally video games. Oh, I'm upset, Joe. You are clearly avoiding my question about The Wire, and I don't even know if I'm able to trust your word anymore. Action Caterer is pissed.
Is an action caterer something like he's a caterer, but he also is like a secret agent?
I think it's more like he's a superhero. Like he's in the Marvel, but like by day, you know, he's got the you know, the little black vest and the white dress shirt, and you know, he's serving champagne to snooty people, and then he rips off his vest, and you know, and he's out there like Daredevil.
Daredevil, really?
Yeah, that's what came to mind.
Wow. That's
what I think of when I think of action caterer. I hope he lives up to my standards. You know?
I doubt he will, but real talk now. Did I miss something about a Wire? Because I actually don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about either. If there's more to it than that, I must have really missed it. It's 4:35 in the morning here, so
yeah.
But give us a little bit of leeway.
And now I'm blind without chat. All right, let's go. Last person on Patreon, unless it's really long. I don't
serve champagne. I serve justice.
Is the next question on Patreon really, really long?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, it's only one.
Okay. So let's go with that, and then we'll end the stream. How many pages are we down?
We're on page 7.
7?
Of 23.
Okay, so as long as the kid doesn't stay up so late tomorrow, we should be able to finish tomorrow. We're going through it at a faster pace.
Well, hopefully.
Some of the later ones are pretty short.
Okay. Because, we're not even halfway yet.
How many pages are there?
23.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, we should be okay.
Irvin says, "Hey Joe and Lily, hope things have been going well and that this Q&A doesn't extend to the 4 streams it did last time.
Yeah, let's hope so too.
Your Danganronpa streams have been very enjoyable, although it got hard trying to keep ahead of your playthrough. I got one question for both of you this time. How is the experience of being parents of..." Maybe this was the big question. I didn't read ahead. "How is the experience of being parents who stream been overall? Kotaku
Yep, that's
released an article on this recently, and there's a link if you want to read it later. And I was wondering how you balance streaming, video making, and parenting. It seems like you've both been doing all right, but I also get the impression that things can get too intense, especially during God of War. Thanks. Hope this wasn't too personal, and have a good night."
No, it's fine. I don't think I can give you a very good answer though, unfortunately, because there's not really much to it. Because I do stream fairly often now, but it was more before, and I've never really considered myself a streamer. I'm just the game critic that will stream some playthroughs of games, but that's probably not right anymore. I probably am a streamer now, which feels weird because I never thought I would ever be a streamer, and I kind of cheated my way here through the YouTube channel. Yeah, I don't really think about it all that much. I think that there's part of streaming is kept kind of distant because it's not all I do, you know? Like it's not just a lot of streamers, it's just we stream and that's it, you know? And it's this big thing, and their whole lives or their whole work lives revolve around how they're going to do the next stream, and how they are going to engage their audience and all this other stuff, and how to make streams more fun and get viewership up, and maybe they work together. I don't know. I haven't read the article, but I assume that it's a partnership in a lot of cases, like Lily and I are doing right now. But for me, it's kind of like it's just something kind of bonus to do while I'm playing games anyway, and the YouTube channel is the main thing, right? So for that reason, I feel like I'm not really qualified to talk about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I sense some disagreement. What do you think?
Well, you are a streamer because sometimes you can go like a whole week where you're streaming every day pretty much. So to me, it's its own thing.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't start initially to be its own thing, it was kind of just a bonus income. And we don't do the streams together. We did in the beginning, but we don't do them. We only really Lily's streams have turned into Q&A streams, and that's all. Like we used to try and do more than that, but it just doesn't work. But I was just thinking we do a lot of it together though. Like it dominates a lot of our life. You know, how much time do we spend talking about future plans and current plans and you know, you're doing the streaming and I'm juggling the household basically and the kids, and then you're not streaming, and then you're working on the video, and then you're engrossed with that too. And
so maybe we should answer more in line with the whole channel instead of just streaming.
I think so. Like I think they go too much together that they're not really separate anymore. You wouldn't really have one without the other so much.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we can answer that, but I don't think you're gonna like the answer. It proves to me that the way that we do it right now is not sustainable, and it's only for the short term future. For I would say at most 5 years. We have 5 years left of doing things the way that we're doing it right now, because it's not it's going to go away. It's just that it's gonna be too difficult for both of us to be involved the way we are when the kids are going to have way more stuff. They're going to be way more demanding, you know, hobbies, interests, education. You know, it's going to be a lot more to it. As time goes on, in some ways becoming a parent gets easier every single day, and in other ways it gets harder. And there's kind of like, would you agree there's kind of like dips and valley, you know, like
it's so hard when they're born, and then you kind of meander a little bit, and then like they hit like 4 to 6 months, and then like it's hard again, and then it kind of calms down again, right? And then And then they're mobile, and then you're like, holy shit, they're into everything. And Leo's getting into hard phase now.
Yeah,
Finn settled actually, but Leo is hard now.
Finn, you can also communicate with Finn now, and again, to say what we mentioned earlier, like Finn's time on stream is rapidly coming to an end. You know, Finn is able to tell me information that I don't know now. You know, like he'll come say, "Daddy, big ant," or you know, "Daddy," you know, and he'll show me something, and he'll drive me across the house, because you know he's getting to that point now where he's going to be able to say something on stream, and that's it. And also, it's not cool to have him on stream when he's an actual person and we don't have his consent to put him on stream. You know, like that's important. When he's a little kid, it's fine. You know, or a baby, it's like whatever. Like he's gonna, like, you can watch a horror movie with a baby in your lap. It doesn't really matter. You know, like not that we did, but you could. You know, it's no big deal. But yeah. So there's that. That's a part of it too. But I would say that I would say about 5 years is, and then everything to do with this is going to have to be very, very X amount of hours, X amount of days, and nothing more than that. And once it's done, it's done. You know what I mean? It has to be more like a traditional job of, I work this many hours, and when I'm home, like maybe even a separate office would do it. You know, when you're home, it's like strict rule, like you can't go with that because there needs to be a separation, right? I think that's what's gonna have to do, how it's gonna have to work. I think overall we manage it quite well, but I do feel like when I get into a stream, you know, heavy into streams, mostly heavy into videos, which is why we're not doing it anymore. It's already beginning that we're calming down from it a bit. Is I don't see them. I don't see the kids, and Lily is not only is Lily taking the entire brunt of looking after them, she's also the only one that's really seeing them that much. I would see the kids, you know, I'd get up, I'd interact with them a little bit, and then, you know, straight down to work, and then bedtime I'd say goodnight to them, and then that would all I would see them really for all of God of War. Some meals as well, I would come up and see them, and for Finn's birthday, I made sure I took some time for that. But yeah, for stream events it's better because it's I can only stream for so long because viewer fatigue can set in. But I worry if you guys would watch me an infinite amount, I wonder if I would stream like I made God of War. That's interesting to think about, actually. If you guys would sit and watch me play Danganronpa 2 for 12 hours, I wonder if I would stream for 12 hours. I think I would. I really think I would. I think I would hit it that hard just to get it done, you know? Because usually when I get into a game and I'm really enjoying it, I would binge it anyway. But so I think I would do that.
Is it the same as the videos, though? Are you going to say you get it done in 4 days instead of 8, you know, and you hit it really hard, then there's going to be a longer drought between videos.
Yeah, for sure.
And then are people going to be saying, well, we missed the streams, we're in the streams because you got it done so fast? They're not going to be saying, oh, well, we just had that amount, that many hours, right? It's going to be, when's the next one? When's the next one?
That's an interesting way of looking at it, actually. And maybe that proves something about the videos as well.
But, yeah, it's when you get heavy into video stuff and heavy into streaming, it gets really difficult. It's not only do you not really see them, you start pulling weird hours, then I start pulling weird hours, and because I don't get to see you either, so then I'm up at 3, 4, or 5 in the morning, right, trying to talk to you.
Yeah, you do that.
And then I suffer for it, and I fall behind here. Like, Leo right now is at the age where he doesn't want to stay behind a baby gate anymore. He wants to be free, that he can walk around and be into everything. Finn is pretty much into everything, but you still have to supervise him, obviously. You can't just, you know, I can go into another room now and leave him, but I can't leave him for too long without checking. So, you know, my day begins with them, and when they don't go to bed until like 10 o'clock, or they're awake at midnight like they were tonight, you know, and you're trying to be quiet, you're trying to, you know, stay away from them. Well, how does the cleaning get done? You know, how do the groceries get done? How does the cooking get done? Like today, Leo and I had a big fight, you know. He was crying and I was almost crying because...
So I'm laughing at the thought of you and Leo having a fight.
I was so mad at him, but I understand. But he was so mad at me because he wanted to be free. He wanted to walk around, and I had the oven on. And I'm like, you can't. Like, we don't have baby gate blocking the kitchen. We have a baby gate that they have the dining room, right? So if you're allowed to be free, you're going to walk over and touch the oven. You can't, you know. And he obviously doesn't understand you can't be out because you can't touch the oven. So he's crying, and I'm getting frustrated because I know I have to feed them and I have to start dinner. And well, what the hell am I supposed to do? Like dinner's going to take an hour to cook. I have to be back and forth flipping it and checking it and trying not to burn it. And I have Finn going, mommy, he wants this, he wants that. I have Leo shrieking and crying. So when there's a stream or something going on, it gets even worse. Because then it's like, it's you're on your own with the kids, and that's your first priority, and then other stuff kind of falls by the wayside, kind of, and this place starts to get messy, and the upstairs doesn't get cleaned up because they're sleeping, or Joe's sleeping, or how am I going to work that one out?
It doesn't get that bad though.
It's not that, but like compared to what I wish it would be.
Especially compared to the apartment.
Like we have a room upstairs that still has some boxes in it that I haven't unpacked yet. I've been meaning to get to them, and when do I get to them though?
There's some furniture that I still have to assemble.
That's what I mean by mess. I don't mean like dirty. I mean like there's clutter. Like there's that I would like to get to, and it keeps going on the list, and then I say, okay, well, we're gonna have a few days after the streams are done, or maybe a week or two after the streams are done, or after a video, and then Joe usually needs some recovery time after that too, where then you'll sleep a bit more than usual, like you have been.
Mm-hmm.
And the list just seems to keep getting bigger, and like we get a few things knocked off it, every break, but we don't get even half of it. So I'm noticing with the kids, that if we didn't have kids, I think it would be very different, the way that our time would be, and there wouldn't be that big chunk of your day, that goes to them, and you wouldn't have to rush upstairs to see them.
I think about that a lot. I think about what if we'd started this, obviously you have no idea that was gonna go this well, but I think about that a lot. Like if we had started before the kids, how different would it be?
And
they
started at the same time too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Finn is the same age as the channel. It's always gonna be the same. But I also wonder, what would it be? Would you have the same kind of motivation, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think about that a lot.
Just in terms of parenting, I wonder, what that would have... I wouldn't trade it. I remember going to work with shit after, I had Finn, and you were home with Finn, and that was hard.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I wouldn't trade it.
I don't think, yeah.
But just in terms of parenting, I find we kind of have a weird schedule. We have a bit of a weird routine because it changes all the time, and we're not going outside for work. So our lifestyle, I think, is different from other people who keep a 9 to 5. And again, we live in a city now. We don't know anybody here, and we don't have any family support. So we don't have anybody coming over and interacting with them, or hey, we'll take them for a couple hours, and you can go and do whatever you need to do, or you can go unpack those boxes, or whatever. So we're in a bit of a unique situation for a lot of things like that with the job, and the hours we keep, like right now, not normal work hours. And there's so many, I would say, areas too, right, that you're juggling, with the streaming and the channel and the Discord and the Twitter and emails and Q&As, and there's so many facets to it.
But
that.
But what about what was the other part about with the kids in the question?
How you balance streaming, video making, parenting.
Yeah, it's really, really difficult. Yeah.
How is it being overall being parents who stream?
And we moved over to YouTube. Yeah. One thing I do want to say, which I think is a positive to balance that, is it's interesting to know that there's all this recorded footage of us, that not just of me and you, Lily, but the kids too. Like Finn won't be on it for much longer, but he's still there. He can go back and listen to himself, and hey, you were a part of this at this age. We stopped after that, and also like, hey, your dad had a public job, and he could go and go through it if he wanted to. I don't think he will, but it's kind of neat,
Yeah, it's like home videos, but not.
Yeah, I do like that part of it. That's interesting. Was there another question from that person?
No, that was it.
No, that was it? Okay. Is the next question fairly short or no?
Looks like one question and 2 quick questions.
Let me see that. Okay, that's not the longest question, but it's fairly in depth. I also don't have a very good answer for it, so maybe I can think of one for tomorrow, but I don't think so. It's about any films or TV shows that I enjoyed when I was a kid and I went back to and I really enjoy them still. I don't think I'm gonna be able to give a good answer for that, but I will try. Okay, were there any questions in chat that we missed continually over the stream, or is there any messages? No, it's okay.
Action Cater says, or he used 10 bits, and he says, I've known two entities in my life, and they both have known about The Wire. First is the donkey that, in his refusal to tell me about The Wire, ate my daughter as she saw the cat lick the water bottle. And the second is you. I have my cat kept away so you can't eat him.
The fuck?
In denial at The Wire. One day you will tell me, Joe. One day.
Okay. Alright, Gundam. Alright.
And Haltfire302 subscribed with Prime, and I know that he was waiting for a Lily stream to do so.
Oh, all right. So I'm staying out of this then. All right.
So we have to give a big Lily thank you to Haltfire, and a claw fist.
There we go. Okay. Let me go to the community center, and we'll see if there's any more questions from chat, and then we will call it a night, and then we'll hopefully continue tomorrow as long as the kids permitting. I'm sorry if we seem kind of down or frustrated tonight. It's just the way that the questions kind of went, and that's what we talked about. We're not as frustrated as it may have come across. I love my job very, very much, and I consider myself extremely, extremely lucky.
We're very lucky. We're very fortunate.
So please don't think that I think otherwise. It's just that there is going to be some frustration involved in it for sure. But yeah.
I kind of feel the opposite that you feel, in a way that I feel like if we are going to voice them, that this is kind of the place to voice them, because we give Patreon updates and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, it's not bad that we do it. It's just I want to make sure that we're not being misunderstood.
You know, if we're going to talk about, frustrations and and downsides and stuff like that, like this is kind of the audience for it. You know, you guys.
Were there any regular comments? Any questions?
I think there was a new Rough Plug says, with 50 bits, the quickest way for a parent to get a child's attention is to sit down and look comfortable. Says Lane Allinghouse.
Yeah, and the easiest way to get your kid to stay up too late is to have to have a really good reason for them to go to bed. Right?
Yeah. I really enjoy the discussion on parasocial relationships and the stresses of having a public job. It's a fascinating subject, and I don't think you spent too long on it.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
You better tell me, Action Cater says, you better tell me about The Wire next stream, Joe. Until then, enjoy yourself. Take care.
Are you going to send your four dark davas of destruction at me if I don't? I'm scared. I'm scared.
Hulkfire says, sorry I missed most of the stream. I was a little busy.
Front tail?
Don't know. Sweating souls.
I don't know. Chad is going to have to make an executive chat decision on that. I don't know about that.
A little busy for a Lily stream. At 5 a.m. Like, come on, Holdfire.
It's just not adding up, is it? It's not adding up. Okay, let me get back to the hoose, and then we will end. Do I need any of these for something else? I don't think so. I don't know, I'm not really digging Stardew Valley as much as I used to. I feel like there's not enough to do during the day for the farming side of it. Maybe I'm not playing it well enough or something, but I feel like there's something missing from it. But then again, I've played this game so much that of course I'm getting a little rundown of it, right? I feel like it's basically go fish, go forage, or go into the mines. and it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing.
See, for me, I like the farming part of it. Well, I don't like the farming part of it. It's a lot. I like the clearing the land part of it.
I like that too.
I like cutting down the trees and getting out my scythe and like clearing all that crap off the ground. And to the point that I would lose all my energy doing just that. Like I would just go around and destroy as much as I could. And the mines. But I never got to fishing when I was playing it. And the planting and stuff was kind of like, like I would get kind of bored. Plant it, water it, collect it.
The watering every single day is really tedious. I don't like that's why I like the sprinklers, or I don't like planting a lot. I don't like that part of it myself either. I'm just wondering if there's something else that could be done better with this system, Anyway. Like what else could you do? Like some sort of work on the farm that you could do every single day, or like what's new that isn't just maintenance? I don't know. More stuff to do with the people? Like I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Thank you very much for stopping by. Sorry if we got a little too heavy in the late night Lily talk. But we'll try and be back tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night.
If you aren't going to be here and you're going to be here for the next proper stream instead of the Q&A stream, until dawn we'll start probably a week into October, I think, is when we're going to start it, right? We don't have a hard date yet, but I have the game. I ordered it. It got here today. So
after our Thanksgiving, pretty much.
Yeah, we'll that's the first Halloween game that we're going to play. Yeah. I'm looking forward to that. I wanted to play that game. So yeah. Thank you, everybody. See you later.
Oh.
Say bye, Lily.
Bye, Lily.